Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vulture Culture Podcast, episode 5. This is a very special episode, one we've been teasing for a little bit here. And by we, I mean my other two co-hosts, RoxyReviews and Sirplaysalot.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome. How are you guys doing today? How
Stretching.
Oh,
Pretty good.
I'm doing fine. Sorry.
No,
sorry.
I realized that I have some school assignments I'm going to have to do before the end of spring break, so that sucks, but whatever.
yeah, same here.
You guys are in school. I'm in construction, and my back hurts. Anyways, all right. I'm kidding. But yeah, today's a very...
You guys are in school, I'm in construction, a brick just lands on you.
I'm in construction. I didn't...
Oh, no.
I just walk into work, and it's literally the building from Wrecking Crew, and there's a fucking eggplant man that's walking by, and I'm like, oh god, not again. Not again. I can't.
No,
guys.
You know that scene in Smiling Friends where, like, the goblin gets killed at the construction site?
That happens on a regular basis. They actually did a really good job depicting how construction actually works in the real world. Anyways, so should we explain why this episode is so special?
Because it's the fifth one.
Yeah. And what are we talking?
Wow.
What are we talking about for the fifth?
So
episode?
many episodes, you can count them on your hand.
I know. Why?
On one hand.
I know. Episode 6.
Wow.
Episode 6 can't live up to it. I mean, to be fair, it
will for Great Uncle Ford, but
yeah.
For most people, it won't.
Yeah, for most people, it won't. But yeah, today's episode, we will be going over our top 10 favorite video games list. Now, we have an order we're going to be going in today. I'm going to be starting off, then Roxy Reviews, then Sirsplaysalot, because unlike Sirsplaysalot, I think a lot of people can guess me and Roxy's top 10, mostly, or like just kind of have like a good idea.
Number one,
yes, especially
like the number one should at least be just like everybody. There's no suspense for our number ones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it helps for me because I have a Let's Play channel, and many people could be like, either they can click on just like a random playthrough and be like, oh, this is in their top 10 or whatever, or whatever, what I mean.
Okay, but I literally,
I'm more obscure compared to you two.
I literally
hardly
have,
anyone's going to know what my number one is.
Yeah.
I literally have my favorite game listed on my Blue Sky account description, so.
Really? Good thing I didn't look at your Blue Sky
really?
This week, because I don't know.
You already fucking know what it is!
Do I though?
I don't have Blue Sky.
Maybe I'm just behind the times. Anyways, so yeah, this episode,
we're gonna have to, hey, Caroline, we're gonna have to hit you with a brick, so you forget.
Don't worry, that's just going to happen at work. Actually, funny thing that you mentioned that. I freaking, we are working on something, and someone dropped a piece of, wood that had, like, a sharp corner on it, because it was for a roof, and it fell, like, directly down. And luckily it didn't hit any of us. We weren't in the area, but I just thought that was funny. But we were alright. Nobody got hurt, luckily, so. Anyways, so we have honorable mentions. This episode is going to be styled a little differently, too, because we'll actually have visuals. So if anybody's listening to us audibly, if you ever want to just take a peek or just wait till later just to see what the games look like that we're talking about, you could definitely do so. Hey, and maybe just comment some of your favorite games down below. I would love to read some of them, even though I know one of them will probably be something fucking dumb, so maybe you should just put down the phone, Ceton. Okay. Anyways,
Just calling out Ceton directly.
Yeah, I just know. Okay. Anyways, so I guess to start with honorable mentions. So this was I explained a little beforehand, before the podcast started, that my honorable mention was probably one of the hardest choices for this list. Because this ain't really number 11, but if we're talking about video games, I was like, okay, I want to mention this. But,
Or it could be like an influential or important one.
Yeah, like, and honorable mentions to me is normally like, you love the game, you love what it has, but it's like, there's a reason why it's not on the list, and I have a good reason for this one. So, my honorable mention goes to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, the third Ace Attorney game in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy released on the Nintendo DS. This was genuinely one of the best ways they could have ended off Phoenix Wright's story. Basically, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but they do wrap up a lot of loose ends and explain a lot of things. The reveal at the end of the game is really amazing. But basically, this is, in my opinion, I think if the series would have ended here, it would have been kind of remembered more fondly. But, you know, it went on, there was Investigations, which a lot of people I heard love Investigations 1 and 2, or mostly 2. But then there's also Apollo Justice, which a lot of people don't like. And then there's also the 2 3DS games, there's Great Ace Attorney, yada yada yada. But this felt like the perfect conclusion to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series, right? You know, like, it felt great seeing all the loose ends ties in, some returning characters come back. In every case, I enjoy exploring around the areas, like reading some of the descriptions, going to the court case, always ending off, like, at the end of every trial, like, it's like, we find the defendant not guilty, and I love that. The character dynamic between Nick and Maya, Maya is great. Pearly, adorable kid. Cool that she was introduced in the last game. She kind of stuck around a little bit in this game. The spirit medium stuff was really improved in this game, in my opinion. There was a lot more wrapped around it. Kind of like Justice for All's first case. The last case really does kind of wrap around it, which I won't spoil. I'm not going to spoil what happens in this game. I just really love Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And also, this game, the reason why it's not in my top 10 is for the simple reason this game really isn't a game you're reading. It's mostly just a book, you know? Like, with some, like, it's kind of like how, you know, I Spy. Like, it's like you're reading a book, but sometimes there'll be I Spy pages. It's like, that's how this game feels, which isn't bad for what they try to do, but, I really do like, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, and that is my honorable mention, so, yeah, I don't really have too much. Oh, wait, one more thing, actually. I do like the fact that you can play as Mia in this game. In the beginning and at the end, and also, or not at the end, but like out the fourth case, I think. So, yeah, really great game. Highly recommend people play the Ace Attorney trilogy, because the original trilogy, because it's cheap and it's really good. Alright, so there's my honorable mention out of the way. I'm ready to hear Roxy's. What?
Mega Man 4.
Oh, man. Mega Man 4 is your honorable mention. Let's hear it. Let's hear what you like.
I don't see why not. Like, Mega Man 4 takes what the previous installments in the series did and makes it actually good. Mega Man 4 basically feels like a complete vision, you know, where like it's like a case where the previous games had, like, the previous games feel like test runs in comparison to Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 is the game that finally takes everything that the other games did and manages to pull it off. In you know what I mean?
Yeah. This game felt like the real completed version of a few prototypes, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's where the series starts to get good as well, because the first Mega Man isn't very good. The second Mega Man is all right, but like it's like the item balancing is an absolute disaster. Stuff like that. It still has issues. And Mega Man 3 is like one of the worst video games ever made. So
you even made a video about it.
Oh wow!
I did do that.
Plug. Sorry.
I wasn't even making the plug.
No, I know, but we gotta plug it now. Go watch why Mega Man 3 is the worst video game ever made. Go watch that video right now. Link down below. Go click on their channel.
That
what are you
title
doing?
isn't accurate anymore. That title isn't accurate anymore. I have found worse.
Yeah, don't
But
worry. We'll do an episode on that. We definitely will. I wonder how long we'll take to get to that. Hey guys, you want to go
we're gonna
record?
do a we're gonna do
Oh.
an we're doing an episode on Mega Man X7.
No, 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 no. Why would I ever torture myself by doing that? All right, well, Sir plays a lot. What
Wait,
is
Rocky's done already?
Roxy? Are you done? You don't have any? Oh,
Uh, I feel like I explained the idea well enough already, so sure.
I mean, if you have anything else you want to say, go right ahead.
You know how one of Drill Man's attacks is to like come up underneath you with his drill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want him to do that to me.
Oh my god. You know it's
Oh my
actually.
God.
You know what's actually funny? You bring up Mega Man 4, and then I was like, "Oh my god, we got to plug your video." And I just remembered, "Oh wait, I also do a Mega Man 4 video? I did. I remembered. Oh god. I think I have a problem. Anyways, Sir plays a lot. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me tell you. For those of you viewers, you don't know, I was actually very nervous to do this.
Also,
One of the reasons is with my honorable mention, which it could be seen as controversial, but you know what? I love this game. Whether it be beta or now, I don't care what people say. My honorable mention is multiverses. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, you heard that right.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm a fan platform fighters. You want to see a few on the list, and this is one of those games that makes me love the subgenre. Like, here, let me put up my notes.
Oh, go right.
Ignore that. For one, I like the graphics. They're like did a perfect job at blending all these characters together while having its own unique style. Like you could put Batman, Bugs Bunny, Steven, and Arya together, and they look different enough while still looking uniformed. Second is I like the gameplay, which sure you can't grab or shield until recently, but I kind of like having it. Makes it look more unique with these options. Also like the stages, the interactions, the music. Oh my god, the music's so good. You gotta listen to it. And I didn't mind the monetization that much. I mean, I've definitely seen worse, but
Fortnite.
this
Oh,
is
sorry.
nowhere near as bad as them. What'd you say?
I said Fortnite. Sorry. I
It
okay.
has even has a better battle pass than Fortnite. Fight me. But yeah,
I just shit on
Sir
you.
plays a lot. We'll meet
but
out
yeah,
back. No, I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
just really love multiverses. It's just that I've put it on honorable mention because of all the backlash it's gotten for stupid reasons, and I wanted to like stay clear of that. Hence why it's not on the list, unfortunately.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
that's valid. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, mind you, I have not really played multiverses. It really is just to me, after Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1, not really piquing my interest. I thought multiverses was just a free version of that, so I just never really got in. I never really played it. To be fair, I mean, that's not digging on the game. I haven't played it, so I can't really say much bad about a game I haven't played.
Fighting games aren't really my thing, so I'm not gonna comment.
I mean, I love fighting games. I get fucking floored in every other fighting game but Smash Bros. But yeah, no, I
yeah,
mean,
platform fighters are the only type of fighting games I'm good at.
mm,
Like I like playing Marvel vs. Capcom, but I suck at it real
which
bad.
which one? 3 or Infinite or
Ultimate 3.
that I played a little bit of that. I enjoyed that. All right, well, ladies and germs, we're now going on to our big list, our top 10. We are at number 10. Number 10, This is okay. So to be fair, this was a last minute change. Like this was literally while Roxy was talking, I was typing this out. So, but now I'm sticking with it. There's no changes. Number 10 on my top 10 best games list is Left 4 Dead 2. So basically, this is a zombie apocalypse, first-person shooter, 4 people team up. But this was like at a time where that really wasn't very common for 4 people to be teaming up and taking on enemy. I mean, like conflict existed and technically, like there was co-op. Obviously, like Halo was out and Call of Duty had some co-op games, but really Left 4 Dead 2 was like the one I would say is probably my favorite first-person shooter that I've played. Now, mind you, this is also coming from the same stupid bitch, me, who played Doom, and I love Doom. I'm not Doom 2016, mind you, and I love Doom of what I played of it, but I haven't finished it, so I can't really put it on the list. A lot of these games that we have on our list, I think we all beat them, right? Or, like,
Yeah.
played enough of them to say we beat them, right?
Yes.
Wait, let me look through.
I mean,
Yeah, I've beat all the games on my list.
Yeah, so
Pretty much.
So that's why I'm like, that's why Doom isn't on here. I originally had in my honorable mention Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze because I've been playing that recently, but that's neither here nor there. Left 4 Dead 2, when I was younger, I played Left 4 Dead 2 a lot on my Xbox 360, and even now, I still, like, play it. It's still fun to play, especially when you mod it. The mods that they do for the game is really fucking funny. Like, there's a Shrek mod for the tank, which also, all the zombies in this game are fucking unique. Like, tanks are these big buff guys, you got spitters that shoot goo at you, you got smokers that, like, wrap their tongue around you and pull you closer to them and attack you, you got hunters that pounce on you, you got jockeys that ride your face, you got witches that cry and you get near them, they'll immediately knock you down. The 4-player element is awesome. I love how the higher the difficulty, the more damage that other players do to you by accident, like accidental friendly fire, which makes it even better because friendly fire in games, like a lot of people don't like them, and I get it. It's very hit or miss, but with this, I like it because then it makes you want to pay way more attention to where you're firing your shots. Which also, all the guns feel different. I love how all the guns feel in this game. Like, other games obviously do it better, obviously, but, like, for 2009, when this game came out, they did a really good job with it. Also, this was made by Valve and Turtle Rock Studios, which Turtle Rock would then go on to make Back 4 Blood, which sucked ass. I hated Back 4 Blood. But Left 4 Dead 2 was always, like, the game I came back to. If I would ever get into a call with anybody, like, say, what we're doing now, but obviously I'm not because I'm trying to, listen in and talk, I would be playing Left 4 Dead, or Balatro now, but, mostly Left 4 Dead 2. But yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, great zombie PvP, or PvE, companion game. Also, what makes it even better is the fact that there's other modes. Scavenger's fun. Survival's fun, where you have to try to see how long you survive during an onslaught of zombies in one certain area. Versus mode is fun, where other people play as the zombies. Again, the mods that the community makes are cool, because there's mods that, like, they add in new areas, or there's mods that are, like, just purely customizable, which I like. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta pause. Alright, I am back. Left 4 Dead 2, great game. Best first-person shooter I've probably ever played, aside Doom, but I haven't finished Doom. Once I finish Doom 2016, it'll probably overthrow this game. But for now, I am going to say I love Left 4 Dead more. Okay. Also, if Valve, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about making a Left 4 Dead 3, can you make it to where we can have both melee weapons and pistols? That would be cool. Okay, that's all I had to say about Left 4 Dead. Did anybody else play Left 4 Dead in this VC?
No, but my brother did.
I highly recommend you get it, but you can't because Roxy doesn't have an Xbox or a PC that could probably run it, and Sirplaysalot. I don't know if you have an Xbox, do you?
I have an
the only game I probably can play is the one that a guy who exists that I should play with the fucking terrible dinosaur character
God.
designs.
All right, Roxy. Well, it's on to your number 10.
Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yo! Now, I know what you're gonna say, Caroline.
Yo,
and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a bad sequel. It's not. It doesn't evolve the gameplay." Okay, I don't know. I haven't played the first Mario Galaxy, so that doesn't mean shit to me.
Why did you diss me out of everybody? Like, damn.
Because you've expressed that opinion before.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Fuck. Curse you past me. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, so I have not played the original Super Mario Galaxy, so I can't tell you whether or not Super Mario Galaxy 2 is good as a sequel. But as somebody who played Galaxy 2 on its own, I think it's really good. The levels are interesting. I like that there's so much to do in the game. Honestly, I mean, yes, I know that the levels are most of the levels. Starshine Beach is like the exception. I know that the levels are generally linear, as in like because you're hopping from planet to planet, you can't go backwards. But that doesn't really bother me at all. You know what I mean? Like the level design it's fun. It feels very good the controls are really good, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah, no, I mean, I just want to say this real quick, because I agree, Mario Galaxy 2 has some pretty amazing controls, especially for the Wii, but I think that's what I love so much about Galaxy 2, is that it feels like it was completely made for the Wii, like Galaxy 1, but it felt more fleshed out, I guess, is the better way. I mean, they probably controlled both the same.
Well, that's probably the reason why they didn't bring Galaxy 2 back in 3D All Stars. That or they thought, oh well, it has 3 in the title, so it should be 3 games.
Three D games. Yeah, 3 games, guys. 3 games. Let's go. Sorry. Continue. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, which isn't to say I don't like every level in the game. Like, I'm not a fan of the Fluzzard sections, but they still feel good to control. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for
Mhm.
every type of thing that the game throws at you is good to control. And the worlds have a lot of variety in them, and there's so much to explore, so many secrets to find, even if a lot of them aren't important.
Mhm.
It's fun to run around in these worlds.
Yeah. Anything else?
Uh,
Oh, sorry.
um, is there anything else to add? Um, oh, I mean, once again, I if I had to guess, they were in the original Mario Galaxy as well. But I like the NPCs. I think they're cool.
Yeah, they. I mean, I think they were
Oh yeah,
also.
one more thing. One more thing. I actually have played very little of the original Mario Galaxy. Once again, not enough for me to say, "Oh, I've played this game." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like 5 minutes. And one of the things I can't confirm whether or not this is true, but one of the points I have heard people say about I've heard it from what I've heard, Caroline, correct me if this is wrong, but like the hub world in the original Mario Galaxy is huge, right? And you have to
Yeah,
like run from place to place to
yeah,
get to each
Yeah.
world
yeah.
or
You had
something.
to. So what you had to do was in Galaxy 1 specifically. There were domes, and like the more domes you unlock, the higher they are. So you have to like jump up to them and climb up certain stuff to get to them. Like, but they're like based off places in the on the starship. So like the kitchen, the library, the observatory. Get the place is called the Cosmic Observatory, but you know what I mean. As in, I'm guessing what you're going to say is that it's easier to maneuver in Galaxy 2 over Galaxy 1 because you can just jump onto the plate and it'll open
Well,
up.
I wasn't. I was going to say once again, I can't confirm it, but from what I've heard about Galaxy One's hub world, it sounds more fun to explore than that of Galaxy Two. But also, it feels less convenient for the sake of playing the game.
I mean, to be fair on my end, I would say Galaxy 1's hub world, I would rather explore that than Galaxy, because the issue with Galaxy 2 is that you can't unlock certain worlds after getting like if you get like if I God, it's been so long since I played Galaxy 2 because I played Galaxy 1 last year and I beat it. And in Galaxy 1, basically you ran around and whenever you go to certain places, you can get like let's say you go to the first galaxy and then you play it and you get everything. I don't think you can 100% it like immediately, but like let's say you do, then you can like go to Bowser, you can go to level 2, and then you can grind out another level, then go to level 3, so on and so forth. Well, Galaxy 2 is way more linear and way more easy to kind of get to one place than the other, but you lose a lot of that free roam, like you said about.
Well, that's fair. That's totally fair. But like, free roam is not my priority when playing a game.
I guess
Open world games, like I like. You know what I like? I like it when games give you like areas to explore, but they're not like full on worlds. Like with like Galaxy 2 and an upcoming game I'll talk about later. Like they're definitely still levels, but they're not. They're not. They're not just this giant area you can get lost in. Which isn't to say open world is bad, it's just not my thing. I have played Super Mario Odyssey, though. That game's really good.
Yeah, Odyssey is a lot like what you were saying. Okay, Sirplayalot, are you ready? I just saw that you...
I'm ready.
Okay, what is your...
I cough.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good.
Right, number 10.
Let's hear it!
Number 10!
Number 10!
We're jumping from one controversial platform fighter to another.
Oh.
Although, I mean, at least with multiverses, I can understand people not liking the price gouging of some of the outfits.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, I really can't get behind why people don't like it. That being... Wait, which posting... Okay. Anyway. That being... PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Such a stupid name. I'm sorry. I hate that name. Sorry. I'm not making fun of the game because I played the game. And I
understandable.
I just think the name's really stupid.
Of course, it's got...
Sorry, go ahead.
It's got unique gameplay with around 3 different attack buttons instead of the usual 2. Kind of like that. Plus, I also think the super meter is a unique system where you can only kill someone with the meter. I can see how it can get annoying for some characters in 1v1, but for the most part, I think it's really good, but definitely not balanced in some areas, I'll admit. But, hey. It's not perfect. Speaking of which, the roster's not perfect, and I love it for that. Because I love...
any game where you can play as Sir Daniel Fortescue has a perfect roster in my eyes.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I got a question.
Well, there's not... Wait, what?
I was going to say...
question?
Because they added in... they added in Raiden from Metal Gear Rising over Solid Snake. Didn't they?
Yeah, and that's the type of chaos that I live for.
Valid.
Because sometimes I don't want to see like all the obvious choices, because at that point the roster gets boring as fuck. Mm-hmm. I want to see out there choices like Radek, Fat Princess, Kratos, Parappa, and yet, but they don't fit together. Yeah, that's the whole point of a crossover. Mashing up characters that don't fit together. And I love it for that. As well as the other 3 crossovers you'll see. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Aren't like some of the worst crossovers the ones where they take like 2 things that are similar enough that that it doesn't really matter? Like the Family Guy Simpsons thing.
Yeah.
Well, see, actually, one thing I wanna say here, because I see what you mean when you're like, I live for that kind of shit, which I agree. I think it's fucking hilarious that they added in Big Daddy from BioShock. And, I mean, mind you, from like the least popular BioShock, and not like the protagonist, because obviously Big Daddy's like more of the series icon than the main protagonist.
He's more iconic than a generic man, whoever the protagonist is.
Yeah, I can't remember the name because I haven't played too much of BioShock. I have been told that BioShock is a masterpiece, so maybe I should play it. But one thing I do want to say is my biggest problem with just the roster is Infamous has 2 characters, and they're both the same person. It's Cole...
I guess they want to like represent both the good and evil paths you can take in that game.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
hey, it's still a better idea than Dark Pit. Ha!
got him. Or Doctor Mario, Jesus. I'd say I'd rather have Dart turn into fucking Foghorn Leghorn for a second.
I'll take Evil Cole over Dr. Mario any day. Fight me.
Funny thing is, I just bought the Infamous games. Anyways, honestly, that's not
Anyways,
a.
back to...
Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you about to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna. I thought you were done. No, go right ahead. Keep going.
Okay, now, another aspect I love about is how it fully embraces, like, the crossover element, not just with the interactions and, like, arcade mode, but through the stages. Like, not many crossover games, like, well, I guess aside from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, then that combines stages together, different elements. Like for one, you'll be playing on Parappa in Master Onion's shop, no, dojo shop, whatever. Then to the halfway point, you'll meet a giant robot from Killzone wrecking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in the medieval stage, you'll be fighting in the graveyard. Then again, in the midway point, you'll, what's it called? Hey, the unfinished swan will come in, paint the stage with black paint. Like, I love that. Not many crossover fighting games do that, like combine elements from two different series. I mean, if you're going to do that with the characters, why not do that with the environment as well?
Right.
Like, that's so unique.
I fully agree with that, like 100%. Like, I mean that's one of the biggest reasons why I wish Smash Bros. Kind of took that idea. Like, I wish they did it. Like, I mean, the most.
You know how
I'm glad PlayStation All Stars did it. They made them stand out more.
Yeah.
You know how well, you know what? Smash Bros. Even has the things necessary to do that with the with some of the stage hazards and the assist trophies. Like, you know how, like, in the Brinstar stage, Kraid shows up in the background and rotates the stage? Why can't we have that in some other ones? Of course, make it so that he can't appear in stages that don't have a fucking ceiling. Like, you know.
I mean,
yeah.
I was actually going to say, because when you brought that up, I was like, assist trophies kind of do that, where it's like they're not like, I mean, but they're mostly random. They're not the same, like, you know, they're not just coming on to the stage for any specific reason. Like, you brought up Killzone having a big robot come in. Like, I think there's a stage, isn't it Parappa the Rappa stage, where they had the Metal Gears come in? And like,
no, it's the Loco Roco stage where it's the Metal Gear Rising robot.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's.
And there's also a Killzone stage with the giant robot monkey from Ape Escape.
Yeah, like, I mean, shit like that is what.
I can't go into that stage. There's an evil monkey in that stage.
It's not just the characters that appear. The environments change with them. Like, in the Ape Escape, it goes, like, transforms into the past for a bit. Or the Loco Roco stage, like, a giant hole in the background becomes the city from the opening of Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to take... my cat just ran outside. But don't worry, I was still going. Yeah, no. I mean, that's a... Honestly, I just wish PlayStation... I mean, the main thing I didn't care for really was the gameplay. I just didn't care for it. But I can see why... I mean, if you do love the gameplay, that game is really good. Didn't it have like a... It didn't have a sequel, did it? It had like a PlayStation Portable game?
But us fanboys have been begging for one for years now.
I mean, I don't see why they couldn't do it. I mean, I guess the problem would be is like, who would they add now? I mean, many people would be like, oh, Astrobot.
Yeah, like...
But...
And for those complaining about why they didn't add Crash or Spyro, they actually did try to get the rights for them, but Activision was too greedy, of course, and they couldn't do it.
Hey, Astrobot is at least giving us hope if that sort of thing is to happen again.
But yeah.
I mean...
speaking of Astrobot, though, let's talk about my last point of this. The soundtrack. Oh my god, it slaps. Like, I feel like people, even the people who dislike this game, will agree that the soundtrack slaps, because especially for the stages. Like, again, I mentioned the crossover aspect. It also changes the music halfway. Like with the Uncharted stage, when you're on the plane, it will slowly transition to like violins for the BioShock Infinite
Didn't
stuff.
I could have sworn it was like I think it was the wait. What's the stage where it's isn't Kratos stage like hell or something? And it's the big
Yeah,
guy
Kratos is
like
Hades, with
yeah.
Hades in the background, only for him to get attacked by the Patapons halfway
Yeah.
through. It's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, I love that because I just love how like Hades is like, what? Oh god. Like he deals with that on like a fucking daily basis or
Especially at the
something.
end where he just dies. Hades dies and doesn't come back.
Again, I guess that's I'm hoping if Masahiro Sakurai is listening to this, we got a lot of people who are listening. We got very popular people. Please do this for Smash.
Wow, I can't believe it. J.K. Rowling is listening to this podcast.
Please
Fuck
don't watch
you.
us.
Oh god, no. Why?
I was gonna say I think the closest they got was stage morphing, but like I mean that just switches stages.
Yeah, even then that was just like kind of lame in comparison.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all my points for PlayStation All Stars. My number 10 on the list.
Well, and that closes out the number 10s of the list. We will now talk about our number 9. And, well, this was very unintentional. We're jumping from one platform fighter to another platform fighter. My number 9 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't know why, but this is the Nintendo game that made me pay attention to Nintendo Directs and just keeping an eye on Nintendo as a whole. It got me hyped. I was there like when they did the Everyone Is Here trailer. I was there watching it. And weirdly enough, another game was coming out in 2018 that brought in a lot of characters from old series or old numbered entries, and that was Ultimate Custom Night, but that's not on my list. Don't be shocked. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate genuinely is probably one of my favorite fighting games. I played it competitively while I was in school, as in like my school had an esports team and I was on it. I played a lot of this game. I have unlocked every spirit. I have every music track. I have almost every single achievement in this game. Have every DLC fighter. I don't have every Mii costume, but I do have a few. Mostly the ones that included music tracks. I love the stages that they have in this game. I mean, 75M excluded, or, Mario Bros. But I love Shadow Moses Island. That's one of my favorite stages. I love Mementos. The Tree of Yggdrasil is awesome from Dragon Quest. Cosmo Canyon and Midgar are two amazing places for Final Fantasy stages. The characters they added in, while some of them I'm not huge fans of, like Pichu or Dr. Mario or Dark Pit, there are some that like redeem it, like Snake, which, by the way, will be. Snake is one of the characters that whenever I first saw him, I was very confused on who he was. Like when I saw him in Brawl, because I played Brawl before Ultimate, but now I know who he is, and he's one of my favorite video game characters of all time. Then there's also the fact that the music tracks, the remixes are really cool. The assist trophy picks are nice and honestly pretty cool, especially since they reference Shovel Knight. The Mii costumes also represent Undertale and Cuphead. Back to the characters, I think if I had to pick another character...
Shovel Knight mention.
Yeah, Shovel Knight mention. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry. Shovel Knight mention. That's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
And last but certainly not least, I just feel like this game is the perfect love letter to everybody who loves video games. I love the combat. The final smashes, well, I have problems with a lot of them. Sephiroth's final smash is easily one of my favorite moments in the game whenever you use it. Because whenever I used to play in tournaments, I never used Smash Ball. But whenever I played by myself, I loved seeing that. I loved seeing that final smash, which is basically a reference to the game he's from. But
Yeah. Okay. What's funny though? I do know some people in school who don't know that. So, like when I was playing this during class with friends, Someone looked at it and was like, "What is this? The opening to Big Bang Theory?"
Our whole universe was in a dark net. Bam. But easily, this is probably one of my all-time favorite. As I said, one of my all-time favorite video games. This really got me to wanting to do YouTube commentary videos, kind of like what's over on Evil Spirit Commentary. Subscribe. Sorry. And last but certainly not least, if Smash 6, like, the thing is, if this is the last game to have such a big roster, I'm completely fine with it. I think the roster doesn't cut. Also, I love the fact they added in King K. Rool in this game. I thought that was a nice pick. I thought, honestly, a lot of the characters who were added, like King K. Rool, Richter and Simon, Isabelle, which Isabelle's just funny to me, Banjo and Kazooie, there was a lot of nice additions, and yeah, that's all I have to say about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't have much else to say.
You brought up Shovel Knight earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that Smash Ultimate is a weekly version because they only have him as an assist trophy. While the Chad Rivals of Ether had him as a playable character.
Yeah, I keep hearing about that. But, dude, Rivals of Ether have Solid Snake, and... I mean... God, no, I'm not
I
gonna
mean, you
get
can
into
make custom colors to make the characters look like Snake if you want.
But I want Solid Snake. Nah.
Well, there is a Snake in a mech suit, so close enough.
Also, all I can say is how they named him Solid Snake. Or no, they just call him Snake. Never mind. Okay. I'm calling him Solid Snake. My bad.
They call him that because looking at him gives me a Solid Snake.
Okay. Chill down, Queen. It's your turn. Unless anybody has anything to say.
I was just gonna say, whenever I do play Super Smash Brothers, I like to play as Mr. Game & Watch.
Mr. Game & Watch is funny. Honestly, if they had to cut any...
I only play as Pikachu or K. Rool.
Oh man, I play a Snake, Sephiroth, Cloud, Banjo-Kazooie sometimes, because I love his moveset. Especially with the Wonder Wing. They implemented Banjo-Kazooie perfectly, in my opinion. Anyways, your turn.
Okay,
Roxy.
I just want to point out that while I'm doing this, nobody seeing the podcast is gonna be able to see this, but I'm talking with Tufort, who these two people know, and
Yes.
and like asking for like suggestions for what art styles I try to copy, and he said. And one of the ones he listed just as a suggestion was Peggle. And I thought that was funny because that game literally has a raccoon called Roxy in it.
That is true. Alright. Well, Roxy, are you ready to reveal your number 9 to the world? Your mighty number 9, if you will? I'm sorry.
Well, I only have 7. But anyway,
all right.
My number 9.
Goodness.
Was that even? I was trying to be subtle with that. I don't actually know if.
No.
I don't know if that came off as. Was that just confusing?
That
Whatever. I'm gonna move on from that joke.
All right, go ahead.
Rhythm Heaven Fever, which is a game that you play with.
With what? With what?
But,
you completely cut out.
2 buttons. You play it with 2 buttons. It's on the Wii. It's a rhythm game. It has in the main game has 50 levels, although you only need so how the structure of it works is that it has 4 rhythm-based mini games where you have to based off of cues, timing, stuff like that. You need to use the 2 buttons, either A or B, and the inputs that you have for each game are literally either just pressing A or pressing A and B at the same time. But how it works is you have to basically use because each minigame has different cues and stuff like that. So even though you are just using the same 2 buttons, the gameplay is still pretty varied, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not just that, but end of each world, the 5th level in each world out of the 10 worlds, and the first 7 worlds are entirely comprised of the mini games that you play through for the first time, and then the last 3 have like sequels and harder versions of earlier levels. But the last level of each world is what's called a remix, and it actually combines the mini games where you have to where like it's like one cohesive song, but it switches between which mini game you're playing, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean,
You probably already know Remix 10. If there's anything from the game, it's that.
isn't that the one that's
You
like
know,
bum
I feel
bum
like
bum 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 bum, and it's like it's just like a dun dun dun, like it goes faster a bit. Like I think I know because like that's definitely like the most popular of Rhythm Heaven. I definitely.
well, I mean
know
that's not what it's like, but like
I
you
know what you
clearly
mean.
have listened to it
The
because
only oh,
what you described is like a poorly remembered version of what it is.
Yeah.
So
the only
I'll
Rhythm
give you
Heaven
that.
song I know of is Our Generation.
That's in the game as well.
You know,
Yes.
it's funny that you bring that up because I immediately thought of what was it? There's a point there's actually you know what, this kind of goes back to Smash Bros. A minute, but just real quick, I won't linger on this. One of the characters that everybody wanted in Smash was a Heaven character, and the Grinch leak. Does anybody remember the Grinch
Oh, I
leak?
remember the
Yeah, they
Grinch
thought
League.
Choir
That
Kids
was
was gonna be
so
so stupid.
that was so crazy.
Yeah, but I remember everybody because like it. Honestly, funny thing, a lot of what the Grinch leak had was kind of true. Like, I mean, Banjo Kazooie did get into the game. Ken got into the game. It's just no Rhythm Heaven.
I completely forgot everything you guys said. Can you give me the run? Yeah.
Basically, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate got like some guy when the Grinch movie was coming out said, "Oh, guys, I work for a production company, and they said that they're making this for Smash Bros." And it was all just a bunch of hoo ha.
It turned out to be the greatest hoax in gaming history.
True. One of the biggest hoax in gaming history. Okay, you have anything else you want to say about Rhythm Heaven?
Well, everybody here should play it, and given that you said you need footage for the video, I guess that means you are going to play it. So, ha.
I was gonna make it. I was literally about.
You know what? I think it's if anybody needed me to explain like the premise of a game that's easy to pick up but hard to master, I'd probably use that as my example. Like I feel like it's very easy to understand, but it's just hard to actually do because the game is difficult.
I actually have not played Rhythm Heaven. Like I've seen Rhythm Heaven, and I know that there's a Game Boy Advance game. I don't know if that's true, but I know there's a DS game. But yeah, Rhythm Heaven Fever. That's your number 9. So the next question is obviously Sirplaysalot. What is your?
Or my number 9.
Yeah, your number 9. I almost said your number 10. We
Let
already
me
number
just
10.
say, I don't.
You almost oh my god, he almost said mighty number 9.
No, I didn't. No, I did not say that. I swear.
You're slipping. The mask is slipping.
I knew the game was addictive, like popping bubble wrap addictive, but I didn't know it was.
That.
I didn't know you were.
And it's so challenging. It'll make you cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Oh god, that ad. Anyways, go ahead. Sirplaysalot.
Anyways, Guy, if you're watching, sorry for putting this so low, but number 9 is Plants vs Zombies.
Oh, and everything was right again. Sorry, go ahead. I love that game.
Like I say, it's a fun game with. I think it's one of the few tower defense games I got into because it's not too complicated. It's very simple yet addicting at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Popping bubble wrap addicting. Okay, no.
Popping bubble wrap addicting.
Let's see. I think also really love the art style. Like, it's a bit cutesy, but still very grim, if that makes any sense. Like, still has like a grim feel to it. Like, I like PVZ2, which is like goes all the way with.
I was just about to ask. How do you feel about the art direction change later in the series?
I mean, I like the cute art style, but I don't know, something about the first game being both grim and cutesy at the same time makes it like stand out more to me.
Well, yeah, as the series goes on, the zombies, I guess, the appearance of the zombies, like their bodies become smaller and their heads become larger.
Yeah,
They
But
become
almost chibi like.
in the original game, they were somewhat reasonably proportioned.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyways,
Continue. Sorry.
yeah, I like the art style and of how it makes the zombies and plants look. Speaking of which, also really like the variety of plants, most of which are unique, all of which are useful, though some are definitely more useful than others. The plants are.
I was
All
about to
plants
say.
are equal. Some plants are more equal than others.
I was literally about to say.
Not all
Planter.
plants are equal
Plant
in the
farm.
eyes of Crazy
Not to
Dave.
be confused with the Disney Channel sitcom Ant Farm.
I remember that show.
Oh, that's funny. Not to be confused with
Let's see.
Ant Farm. I remember that show.
I'm gonna go get water. I'll be back.
Yeah, go right
In
ahead.
I'm gonna go get water. I'll be back.
And my last point, Plants vs. Actually, no, I didn't add this, but I like the mini games
Yeah.
and all the bonus challenges you can do.
I hate the
Gives the
fact
game
that
a lot
they got rid of
more
that.
stuff
Sorry.
to do.
I really hated that too.
It has a decent amount of content, actually.
Really hate that too. I'm now just starting to get mad at 2 because they got rid of it. They got rid of it.
Yeah, and something that is on par with 2, though, is, of course, the soundtrack. The amazing, orgasmic soundtrack.
I love the soundtrack.
Sorry. I guess we'll hear any particular, favorite theme for any of you?
For me, I always loved the normal. Oh no! If I had to pick what is the best song in the entire game, Zomboss. Zomboss is the best boss theme I ever heard in a video game. Hands down. I love Zomboss's theme.
You, Roxy?
Roxy's getting a cup of water. They'll be back. But we can ask them when they get back.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay, my favorite, weirdly enough, is the pool theme, but the DS version. I don't know, I just like the chiptune version of that theme better.
I can't even blame you for that, because I kind of like the
It
chiptune.
might also be nostalgia since
Wait.
I
Okay,
start
I'm
off
just
playing
gonna
the
get- when
DS
you say the
version.
chiptune version of it, are
versus
you referring
Zombies.
to the
DS.
Are you talking about the DS version of Plants vs Zombies?
Yes. Oh, we're gonna ask you,
I'm not
Roxy.
gonna
What's your
lie.
favorite?
I'm not gonna lie. Watery Graves actually sounds better on the DS.
Yes. Anyways, Roxy, what's your favorite song, soundtrack in the sound score, whatever in the game, music piece?
Graze the Roof.
Graze the Roof is
Oh, that's a really good one. There's not a single bad one of the bunch. That's how amazing the soundtrack is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my last
Well,
point.
I mean,
Zombies.
the worst song in the oh, sorry.
But no, I was about to finish up. I love Plants vs. Zombies. It's still amazing.
And I agree.
But the worst song in the game is probably the Jack in the Box.
The Jack. The
Yeah, that's so catchy.
That's funny. That's funny that you. I love how okay, I'm sorry. The zombies' expressions in those games, they're so stupid, but they're so funny. Like the fucking Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
you
I
hear.
like the
But at the same time, they can still be
the
threatening with
expressions of
the
the-
huge amount of them there are on screen.
expression that the zombie heroes do in PvZ Heroes when the plant player plays a legendary card reminds me of that scene from The Mask where his jaw drops all the way down onto the table.
They're shocked.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, Plants vs. Zombies is a good game, but it's clearly not the best in the series because they didn't decide to make the Sunflower a lesbian yet.
Ugh, damn.
That's why it's only number 9.
Nah, that's the reason.
No spoilers, I actually didn't put PvZ Heroes on the list.
Damn.
I just now remembered I didn't.
I was going to make a joke and say fake fan, but
Oh.
nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um,
But anyways,
all right.
moving on.
Okay, so now I'm on. Alrighty. Number 8. So this is a weird one because like most of the games that we've been talking about, I would say like a lot of them are cutesy. Aside Left 4 Dead 2, a lot of them are very cutesy and very like child friendly. Aside Left 4 Dead 2. My number 8 is the exact opposite. Bayonetta 2. So this is like hacking.
Jesus Christ. The fucking way you said my number 8 made me think you said mighty number 8.
Oh, I think we're just
Oh
running
no,
this.
the prequel of the Mighty Number 9.
Exactly. But Bayonetta 2 is a like it's made by Platinum Games, the same people who made Metal Gear Rising, which we talked about a little bit. But basically it's like if you've seen, I guess like if you play Devil May Cry or I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see how I can explain it. Basically, it's a hack and slash beat 'em up-esque game where you're going around these different places and you're beating the fuck out of both angels and demons because you're an Umbra witch. There's a point where someone is chasing after you and then there's a big plot reveal. I will not say what it is. But what makes this game so high on my list, or not high, but like kind of low on my list, is because I think Bayonetta 3 does things a little bit better, but I haven't played through all of Bayonetta 3. But what makes Bayonetta 2 so good was also just, I thought that the pairing mechanic, which by the way, the pairing mechanic isn't like, oh, you just move out of the way really quick in slow motion. No, it literally time stops around you, and you can like rush and do a lot of damage to other enemies. It's awesome. I love how Bayonetta handles the parrying system. And I know Bayonetta 1 did it, but Bayonetta 2 feels way more clean than Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 1's really clunky at times. Well, Bayonetta 2, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Also, the fact that this was released on the Wii U, and it was nominated for Game of the Year of that year, which was like 2012. It didn't win. It lost to... No, wait, was it 2013? It was 1 year. It lost because to Dragon Age 2.
It
Dragon
came out in
Age
2014.
2014? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it lost to Dark Souls 2 then. No, okay, whatever. But yep, that is my... I don't really have a whole lot to say. I love Bayonetta. I love Rodin. I can't remember the little short guy's name, but he's fucking funny. I just remember, like, in the beginning of the game, Bayonetta's like it's like this big serious moment, and then it just shows like her in like modern day going shopping, and then like a guy's behind her like carrying all her stuff. He's like, man, can we just take a fucking break? And he's just like, no, I gotta get these here now. You better not drop a single package. And then hilarity ensues, and he drops the package, but because of danger. But basically throughout the entire game, you're going in and trying to save Joan by going into hell. And then you fight your way out of hell, and then more story stuff happens. I won't spoil again because I don't want to. Yeah, play Bayonetta 2 if you haven't already. So, yep, that's my pick.
Man, I can't wait to go to hell like in Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta fans, whenever they see the pit of hell open up. Oh my god!
Hell of a boss fans when they go to hell and don't get fucked by furry with 6 arms, with 4
Jeez.
arms.
All right, well, Roxy.
Those bastards lied to me.
All right, Roxy, it's your turn. What is your number 8?
Crash Bandicoot 2.
Oh my god, we just
for
talked about
Gringotts
that.
Steakhouse.
No, we talked about the first Crash. Never mind. Continue, sorry.
So I feel like I did a good job describing it at the Crash Bandicoot episode, but I'll try to summarize it. The game basically does everything that the first game does, but better. It evolves the gameplay in a very natural way. Yeah, no, and like for the original version of Crash 2 also got rid of the stupid save and don't die for the gems thing that the Rex or that the gems had.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I think that the levels in Crash 2 are generally better than in the first game. The first game has unique levels, like some of the level themes aren't repeated at all in the first game. And so, yeah, the second game doesn't have any levels that are unique environments, but that doesn't really matter to me because one, the ideas feel more explored, and two, the levels are so good I don't care anyway.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot 2. I did it. I mean,
The only
oh
the
god.
only issue, the my only real issue with the game is that the boss fights are still bad. Engine and Tiny Tiger have good fights, but the other ones are terrible. Ripperoos is literally just standing in
Wait,
place
wait, wait,
to
wait, wait,
where
wait, wait,
he
wait,
won't
wait,
hit
wait.
you.
Is there literally a
Uh,
character just called Engine?
yeah, well, you know how I said that you know how I said when we talked about the first game that the biologist scientist's name is N Brio, like N is his first initial and then his last name is Brio.
Hmm. Okay, I was just my
Crash
eyeball.
2 introduces a character called Engine who does that as well.
Hmm. All right. Okay, I was just wondering. Um.
Uh, um yeah, Engine generally has the best boss fights in the series for most of the games that he's in. But so yeah, so Ripperoo's boss fight, you just stand in place and he can't hit you. But the entire boss fight is literally just he makes every part of the room except for like one part explode, and you just stand in the part that's not gonna explode. It's really boring.
Mm-hmm.
The Komodo brothers, like they try to attack you, but they like their attacks, but the room is large enough that the attacks don't matter, and sometimes they don't even aim at you. Uh, Tiny Tiger's boss fight is actually really cool because you're in a room with like floating platforms in a 3x3 grid, and then the platforms sometimes drop, and it's telegraphed, and you need to get him to jump on a because he follows you. You need to get him to jump on a platform that's about to fall, so when he gets onto it, it falls. Then most of the other platforms in the room will drop after he falls, and you have to get to a safe place.
Hmm.
Engine's fight removes the spin ability from you, but
Oh.
allows you to throw fruit into the background, which is the only time in the game you can do that, which is weird, but everything else about it is really good. Like, with how you have to throw fruit at the weak points of his mech to slowly destroy it. I think that's really cool. And then the final boss in Crash 2 is like one of the worst final bosses ever.
Yay!
So because he goes down in like 30 seconds and can't even damage you.
He just runs away like a little bitch.
Bitch.
In a game called Cortex Strikes Back, he
Yeah.
doesn't attack you.
Man, he really got us there. We thought he was gonna do something cool, but instead he
No,
just
don't you
ran away.
see? It's a subversion of
Yeah, it's
expectations.
the version of expectation. My butt. That sucked.
By the way, the completion process of Cortex Strikes Back is very satisfying. With getting all the gems and they even added like death platforms where where if you get to a certain point in a level without dying, you can then go to a secret area, sometimes with another gem, sometimes with more boxes. The whole not is completely gone, but it is
Roxy.
Hello?
in every level. And two, yeah, they're well, sorry, in two, yeah, they're not in every they're not in every level, and they're not all the way through the stage. So you can still die as long as you get to the death platform before you die. There are moments that I think are really weird because the game doesn't tell you. Well, in the original version of the game, it doesn't tell you these hints, but in the remake, it actually does tell you these hints. So I do think that the remake is the better game because it gives you hints for this sort of thing. But there are like secret areas where you need to find the special colored gems that you can use as platforms. The only hints that the original version gives you is there being additional gems gem-shaped holes next to the stages. But in the Insane trilogy, it actually gives you a hint about where the special gems are in the stages and how to get them. I'm going to use this as an example. There's a level where at a certain point you can stumble into a room that's on an alternate path. Like there's a split path, and down one of the paths is a room that's just full of nitro boxes. And touching a nitro box will make it explode, and that can hurt you. So normally you would just like not go into the room, right?
Yeah.
But the remake version of Crash 2 says in the loading screen, hint, the green gem lies behind something fake. So that hint makes you think about it, and when you see that room, you then think, okay, something's up. It's definitely to do with this, because this stands out in your mind and looks weird and off, and why would there be a room full of nitro boxes if the player can just turn around and not deal with them?
Yeah.
So then you jump behind the nitro boxes and realize that you can go through the wall and the green gem is there. You know what I mean? Like I feel like those hints are basically necessary because they're not necessary, but I feel like the hints definitely help, because otherwise a lot of players I feel would just see stuff like that and be like, well, that's weird, and then leave.
Yeah.
But once the hints tell you that sort of thing exists in the game, I think it definitely helps, because now whenever you see something that looks weird or off, you're going to want to explore it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, that Crash 2. I mean, to be honest, I expected a Crash game to be on your list. I mean, I did get everybody's list beforehand to record footage, but after I got some of the footage done, I basically just did not look at your list for like 3 days straight. So, yeah. Cool picks. Cool picks. Alright. Sirplaysalot, the floor is yours.
You know, I actually find it kind of funny how for all of our number 8 spots, we have 2 in the title.
Okay.
Yeah, for my...
Sorry.
And yeah, anyways, jump cut to it. My number 8 is Little Big Planet 2.
So we have Little Big Planet 2, Bayonetta Strikes Back. That's the combination.
Yeah! Man, this sequel's peak.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
it is peak. Like, okay, one thing, I don't know if people agree with me, but one thing I like better than, like, well, expands on the level creation system from 1, but in a more simple way. Like, with how ambitious 3 was, I feel like the level creation was, like, too complicated for my liking, so I just like it here. We had new additions like the Sackbots, and I actually forgot the others. What?
I've played Little Big Planet 3, and I tried the level editor system, and I was just like, this is... what the hell?
Yeah, it's a lot more, like, even with the first one, it's a lot more complex than something like Super Mario Maker, which I feel like that's the reason a lot more people got into Mario Maker, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, we have Big Planet 2, which, you know, let me look at my notes.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, I just got a DM
visuals, because it still carries like arts and crafts art style from the original game, and kind of expands on it, especially with the new characters like Victor, Clyde. They're all fun. They have great personality. Even the Negativitron, which is essentially a giant vacuum cleaner, that looks demon-like. Still intimidating. Remember, it took me a while to beat it. Like, the boss fights are actually good. A huge improvement over the original, when I remember that. I don't think if I beaten the original, actually, but regardless, they're both still fun games. 2 edging out for me, because The improved creations, level creator, creative visuals on par, great side characters, a great soundtrack even, with the end being like mixed between original and licensed songs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know it sounds unprofessional, but I think a big part of why it's on this list is because of the nostalgia, which sadly you can't play this game online anymore, but I have so many fond memories of going to many different people's levels. Even teaming up with online people I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's still fun just to reminisce on.
No, that's valid.
Yeah, that's all I have to say for Little Big Planet 2.
To be fair, that was one of the reasons why I put Left 4 Dead on it. Also, Roxy, the fuck you say about Balatro? I just
Oh, I said I got a DM I got a DM from another friend, and it says playing Balatro right now. No, that's not what the DM says, but that's what like the status says. So I just think that's funny.
Are you calling you're calling me out. How dare you? I am not. I am, but it's on the side. Don't
That
worry.
wasn't you. That wasn't you.
Are you friends with me on PlayStation Plus? I thought we sent,
What?
Didn't we send friend codes? To each other?
Actually, no. We can get that sorted out after this recording.
Yeah. No, that's neither here nor there. And here we had Sirplaysalot worried that they're too unprofessional. We're over here like, oh, are we friends on PlayStation? Anyways, no, I definitely get the whole.
Oh, I have to pee. I have to go pee.
Yeah, go
I'm
right
gonna go. I'm gonna go like piss and shit with my dick.
Okay.
That made it sound like I'm. That made,
We're definitely
that made
editing
it sound
that
like
out.
I'm doing both. That made it sound like
We're
I'm doing
definitely
both.
editing that out.
Okay. Oh, no,
Oh my
it's
god,
staying in. You
guys!
deserve
Roxy
it.
has a.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, no, I definitely get it. Because again, that's one of the main reasons why I like. That's why I like Left 4 Dead so much, is because I have a lot of great memories with Left 4 Dead. So yeah, no, I mean, from what I've seen of Little Big Planet, it looks very fun. So maybe I'll give it a try one. Well, I have to, because actually, I think I have Little Big Planet 3 somewhere around here. Nope, I have the first Little Big Planet in my headphones unplugged. Hell yeah, brother. Let me plug those back in. I have the first Little Big Planet. So.
I own all 3 games.
Huh?
On PS3.
And is. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. I was very confused. I was like, wait, what? And then you said that you had all the games on PS3, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense. But I have not played Little Big Planet much at all, so maybe that's one thing I could try out. And maybe I'll have a great time with it.
Little Big Planet 2, my number 8 on this list.
That's a good number. That's a good one to put on here.
Should we wait for Roxy?
Yeah, we'll wait for Roxy.
Start number 7.
Yeah, we'll wait for Roxy. I don't mind the wait. It's just coming out of their paycheck.
Yeah, we can just edit this part out.
Yeah, nah, it's all right. We can just discuss your game. If you have anything else to say, of course.
No. Hang on, I'm gonna get peanut butter real quick. I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. Hey, so guys, it's just me, and well, you know what happens when you're okay.
2,
okay,
1.
Okay, viewers. Okay, viewers, calm down. Okay, it's not that deep. Anyways,
It's
welcome back.
Problematic while I was.
No. Anyways,
No.
Okay, so we are on to the number 7 entries. These are the entries that I feel like we are getting to the point where we're like, yes, these games, we're getting to the best of the best.
This is the good shit.
The good shit.
All of them's the good shit.
Yeah, but this
is the great shit.
Yeah, this is great shit. This is like the
corn.
Exactly. The
yeah, I guess that makes sense because humans can't properly digest corn, so it is visible.
Anyway,
shit.
Okay. Well, enough about that. Here we go. This. Sorry, jeez. My number 7 is Super Mario Odyssey. This was one of the hardest choices I've made on the list. Like, I genuinely could not pick between Galaxy or Odyssey. So,
Sorry, cough.
oh, you're good. This was genuinely, like, because I love Galaxy from what I've played of it, and even just, like, on occasional days when I'm just, like, riding around with my family and I'm in the back seat, just chilling, like, this was like, oh, I love Mario Galaxy a lot. Sad thing is, I don't think Mario Galaxy is as good as Odyssey. And a lot of people would disagree with me on that. And fair points, I guess. But I don't know. I love Odyssey's sandbox so much. Don't take that the wrong way. But I think Odyssey has the better moons. Like, I mean, the completionist stuff, a lot of people are like, oh, it's too easy to get moons. I agree to a certain extent, but I feel like this game works a lot as, if you were to tell someone, hey, play Mario, like, play a Mario game, what would you recommend? I would recommend Odyssey. Like, for your first 3D Mario game, Odyssey. But if it's like, oh, first time ever playing one, Odyssey would still be the one. Because, one, for 100% completion, it's not the worst. It's honestly pretty simple. And you don't have to just completely repeat missions like in Galaxy 1. From what I've heard. I don't know 100% if that's true. But that's what I've heard. I think this game is just genuinely one of the best 3D platforms ever made. And I can go on about it, but I'll list off some of the positives. One, New Donk City is probably one of the most fun I ever had in a level. Like, I love New Donk City's aesthetic. I love the music that plays. I love that Pauline's the mayor. Because, honestly, aside Mario vs. Donkey Kong, you really did not see Pauline. It's like, so seeing her in, like, a mainline Mario game was really cool. And I was really happy to see her. Because I think she's a really cool character. But I know a lot of people probably would be like, oh, but she's just this one stereotypical, gets caught in drama character. But, like, I don't know. I like Pauline. I never met anybody who really disliked Pauline. I mean, I guess that one person I made up in my head, but still.
One person shows up, they're like, don't you see? Pauline represents woke culture because she's a woman
get
and
outta
she's
here.
a politician.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
Those grifters out of here.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing about this game that I love is just how it feels like. Honestly, okay, to be fair, at the time of when Odyssey released, Mario, I think everybody can agree Mario was really playing it safe. Like, I mean, you had some games like Super Mario, like 3D World was cool, but like in Ultra Smash was bad, and you had like some of these generic Mario games ever since the Wii, really. Like, don't get me wrong, there were still good Mario games, but like, comparatively speaking, it wasn't all that great. And then we got, like, I mean, like, I think the best example, Mario Party 10 and Ultra Smash, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, are some of the most generic bullshit milquetoast Mario games. And then when Odyssey came out, it felt like, wow, they're doing something completely different.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Mario can be creative again.
Yeah, and like really after Odyssey, Mario did become way more creative. Aces, which I know a lot of people don't like Aces, I get it. But Aces is fun. I really enjoyed Aces from what I played of it, which is a couple hours. Also at kiosk demos, but you know, whatever. Like also just I own a copy of it, but the characters in Odyssey, other than just Pauline, the boss fights, I really like the boss fights in this game. Like using the capture ability is awesome. The main thing I don't like about this game has nothing to even do with the game. Honestly, I'm kind of upset we never got a Galaxy 2. Or sorry, Odyssey 2. We got a Galaxy 2.
I was about to say I literally talked about Galaxy 2.
No, there's no such thing.
No,
I'm sorry.
Nintendo when making 3D All Stars.
There is no Galaxy in Bossing Say. That's an Avatar quote, ain't it? Anyways,
Yeah.
but that's all I really have to say about Super Mario Odyssey. I love it. I really wish Odyssey got a sequel. I really do. I think Odyssey had so much potential for a sequel, and I say it like, oh, we'll never get it, but like, it's been what, 2017? It's almost been like, it's been a couple years, is what I'm trying to get at. So I don't think we're gonna get a sequel.
I mean, if Kingdom Hearts 3 eventually came out, then why not Odyssey 2?
Honestly, I would say the only reason is now we're getting the Switch 2. It kind of feels a little too late. Like, I don't know. Because, like, when did Galaxy release? Like, 2010? Galaxy 2, like, that was 2010, wasn't it?
The Galaxy 2 was 2011, I feel like.
Yeah, and then the Wii U came out 2 years later.
I think Galaxy 2 was 2010.
Yeah. And then...
Hang on, I have Wikipedia on hand.
Yeah.
Galaxy 2 is 2010, actually. I was 1 year off.
Either way, I just kind of feel like it's a little... It feels a little too late. I feel like we're at the point where we're going to just get a new Mario game and not a Odyssey 2. So, I mean, although, yes, I am fine with that because I do like Galaxy 2, or I do like Odyssey, but I'd rather, like, it's either we can get a sequel to Odyssey or they just do something new. Many people keep saying Galaxy 3, and I just keep saying Cope Harder, but, you know, sorry. Sorry, that's really mean, but, guys, it's been a while. I'm just saying. Anyways, that's my number 7. Roxy, it's up to you now.
Hi, it's me.
Hi,
It is you.
I'm the problem, it's me. It's me. Hi.
All right.
I'm the problem.
Now we got
me.
a musical. Let's go.
Any Swifties out there?
Just got.
Anyways, back to Roxy.
Sorry, it's just how Sir goes fucking. There are any Swifties out there? Just so I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead, Roxy.
Hollow Knight.
Oh. Hollow Knight. Is that it?
Just
It
Hollow
would be
Knight?
funny if I said nothing, but you know, it's kind of like what I said about Galaxy 2 minus the linearity, I guess. But like it once again, it does just feel like a fully complete world to explore.
Yeah.
And also the combat is very fun.
I do like the.
I prefer using the nail, but other people like using the magic spells a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what else to say. Like I don't know, the art direction's really good. I like the way it looks. I like that the characters are bugs because like you never see that. You rarely ever see insect arachnid type characters be portrayed in a positive light.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't remember the last game I played that was like pro.
Well, I mean, there's all Bug Fables is also a game that exists, although I haven't finished it yet.
I know you started a playthrough of Bug Fables, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I've played a decent bit of it, but like once again, I am not done yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is pretty fun. Anyway, you know, also one of the things I also really like about Hollow Knight is how difficult it is. Like, it's not a pushover thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, the game is fair, so it's not like the game screws you over, you know?
Yeah. It's just more like it's tough, but it's not unfairly difficult. I get what you did. I definitely get what you mean. All right, well, is that all you have to say about Hollow Knight?
I'd fuck the shit out of Hornet. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was just like, okay, you're gonna say something here. I just gotta be prepared. Well, I was prepared. Okay. All right. Sir plays a lot.
All right.
Your turn.
My number 7.
Yeah.
It might confuse some people since I think it's. I don't know about any of your lists, but I think this is probably one of the most like random choices people would put on a list like this.
Okay.
Especially when you get to the end, like you realize, really, you left off this game but put that one in.
Yeah.
Mine is. Oh, okay, what?
Oh, all I was gonna say is at the end, I think we can just kind of go over some games that probably were gonna be on the list, but we just didn't add because the criteria. But
Yeah, that would be fun.
yeah, we'll just go over some.
But yeah, my game for number 7 is Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots for the DS. Specifically the DS version.
So I can't use footage of the Wii version.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Why'd you say that like Syndrome when he sees the Incredible
I was
being
trying to
celebrated?
sound like Robotnik.
Yeah. No, I got the reference.
All
right, go ahead. Sorry. I was just asking.
Yeah, anyways. Attack of the Toy Bots DS. So, I only played a little bit of the Wii version at a friend's house once. Wasn't really impressed. I just like the DS version. And not just because it introduced me to like shows like Invader Zim, Danny Phantom, and My Life as a Teenage Robot, but even now I still think it's a fun game. Like for one, the combat is simple, like you only have a two attack buttons, yet it's kind of addicting. Like it's so don't know how to describe it actually. Like you can't do combos, but like the attacks are still fluid and like it's so good. Which also reminds me of the huge roster. As alluded to before, we have SpongeBob, stuff like the mainstream stuff like SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron, Danny. Some of the more like obscure at the time stuff like Teenage Robot, Zim, Cat Scratch, L. Tigray.
I would assume Timmy Turner is in the game.
And yeah, Timmy Turner. And of course, many of them you unlock throughout the game. Or Gur you get by getting all the master models. There's even a cheat code system where you unlock both SpongeGar and Dark Danny, both of which are really cool and overpowered. Next is also a reminder of I love the cute like sprite art style, combined with some of the 3D backgrounds. And, like I don't know, it just looks really appealing to me.
I do have one question,
Of course.
Sirplaysalot, real quick.
What?
Have you ever played the other Nicktoons games, like Nicktoons Unite or?
I've played Globs of Doom on the Wii and DS.
That's the one that has Bubble Bass. Sorry. Right?
But yeah, anyways.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the character that they use way too much in newer seasons. New SpongeBob sucks. Moving on.
I was gonna make a joke and say, I said, "Oh my God, they added in Nostalgia Critic. The show is peak."
But anyways.
Go ahead.
Anyways,
you know that scene where Bubble Bass sits on Plankton?
Yes. We all
you want that to happen to you?
We called you out. Oh, that's great. But go ahead.
Anyways,
sorry.
Next up is actually the unique health system. Like, I mean, for the okay, this game basically has 3 types of levels for each world: combat, vehicle, and boss. For like the combat section, you're like going around with your standard health bar, collecting bolts. Don't know really why yet until you get to the vehicles where like, oh, your bolts are like your health. And yeah, you do lose a bit of it during the vehicle and boss sections if you're not careful or fast enough. And that's your high score, so actually adds a lot of replayability to the levels. Like how many more bolts can I keep on to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun. Of course, the soundtrack is an absolute bop, like all games, but this one especially, like, I swear, like, favorite one especially is the stage select music, which, if I ever do get around to making YouTube videos, that's going to be my outro theme. It's the stage select from Attack of the Toybots DS, because it's that good.
That's cool.
It's so good. Just like this game, it's still great. Still holds up well. Hence why I was like afraid, like when Ellis Mark did a video on the Nicktoons games, I was like, oh no, he's gonna bash the Toybots DS. And he ended up praising it, which hey,
Yay. It's always cool whenever a
Oh
YouTuber...
my
which actually,
god! It's scientifically possible for him to enjoy.
Oh,
speaking of which, I actually had a drawing appear in an Ellis Mark video. I don't know if you know this.
wait, you
I'll send it in chat.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, someone used my art without my permission, and they later linked it in the description. Hang on, let me send it. Where is it? Where's the screenshot? I still have it saved right here. Probably might add it into the video, I don't know. Here it is.
Hold on one second. Oh, let me look at it real quick. Because I don't have... I don't want to get off the OBS screen, but I'll look at it on my phone real quick.
Wow. Wait.
Oh, well.
Wait. You drew that? I
Yes.
was wondering.
Yes, that was
I was
me.
wondering why you used like a picture of just
Yeah,
on paper
a friend of mine
drawing.
called him out for on Twitter, which really was his editor who stole it. But he did leave a link to it in the description, which was nice.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well,
Just like this game. Attack of the Toybots DS is my number 7.
nice.
How
All
does
right.
it feel to be part of
Oh.
LS Mark history? How does it feel to be associated with him forever?
Yep.
Well, his opinions on the Owl House are shit, so not really honored.
Oh, damn.
You had to specify the Owl House and not literally everything else as well.
The Owl House means a lot. I love it that much. But anyways, back to the list.
All right. Well, okay, gang. I guess we can talk about... Fuck.
Number 6.
Number 6. We are getting close to the top 5. This is genuinely epic. But before we get into that, I want to talk today about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to make a shade.
Funding for Evil Scare is provided by
Yeah.
Squarespace.
Okay. My number 6. I don't really talk about this game that much. I mean, I think we briefly talked about one of the games in the series. But my number 6 is Metroid Dread. Now, contrary to popular belief, this was not my first Metroid game. My very first ever Metroid game was Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. And I love that game. But Dread basically took what made me love that game. And I also played a little bit of Super Metroid, and I played a little bit of Metroid Prime at the time. But this game, I genuinely would say, if I were to ever get into the chance of making my own game, I would make it like Metroid Dread. Its environments are scary. The action and platforming is fun. The enemies are terrifying. Even though you would think, oh my god, how scary can a stupid little robot be? It's more the fact of
Wally me.
well,
Sorry.
whenever you see them, this tense music starts playing as this fucking robot just chases you around, closing the doors, keeping you locked in there. And you can parry them, but it's not easy to do. It's not that easy to do. Overall, I would say that this game made me go, wow. Like, because I expected it to be good when I played it. And, well, it did not disappoint. This game is great. Again, character design for the enemies are good because they're simplistic, but not complicated. of lack of a better word. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say. The ending's cool, and I love the fact that they brought back Adam from Fusion, which I also played Fusion. I got to a certain point, I quit playing because I was like, I'm not really enjoying this game all that much. But yeah, that is my opinions on Metroid Dread. I didn't really have a whole lot to say because it really is that the atmosphere of the game, and also for the Nintendo Switch, the game looked really fucking good. All I'm gonna say is, if you have not played this game, go play it. It's also weird because before we got Metroid Prime 4, we not only got a remake of Metroid, or a remake of Metroid Prime, but we also got not a remake of Metroid Prime, it's a remaster. We got a remaster of Metroid Prime, and and two 2D games, and a remake. There's a remake of Samus Returns. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay, but yeah, sorry, I don't. Also, I do like how badass Samus is in this game, because oh my god, she kicks so much ass. You would have thought she was a professional kickboxer, but no, those guys apparently only fucking make misogynistic content. Anyways, sorry about that. We won't say names here, but he's probably going to go to jail. Anyways, alright, whatever. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. Enough talking about Andrew Tate. Okay, but yeah, Metroid Dread, my number 6. I honestly, if I could, I would probably put this at number 5, but I didn't, so it can't be. It will be at number 6. But
you did that to yourself.
I know. I limited myself because I know how much I love this game. I just know it's not the best Metroid. I mean, like, a lot of people even say it's not the best Metroid game, but I'm always inclined to disagree. But anyways, yep, Metroid Dread is number 6. All right, Roxy.
Enter the Gungeon.
Mm.
This is one of the ones that you guys definitely just already knew I was going.
Oh, I knew you were going to put this on the list.
You probably didn't know exactly where, but you knew it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, I feel like we all have that like one obvious spot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have an even more obvious one. And honestly, the fact that Enter the Gungeon is on the list at all should already make everybody watching this guess, oh yeah, I already know what else is going to be on this.
True.
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead. Why do you like Enter the Gungeon?
I think it's one of those games where it really shouldn't work when you really think about it, considering that ultimately the gameplay is the gameplay generally stays around the same sort of thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a twin stick shooter. But I don't know. I mean, even though the items and weapons and stuff you can pick up in the game, even though they don't ultimately change it all that much, like the main gameplay stays the same, but the items and stuff you get modify it just enough so that it remains familiar, but always is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there are elements in the game as well, like the secret floors, which add extra depth to it, because there are things you can do to find additional pieces for more items and stuff.
Yeah.
So, may I just say, the fact that there's in the game that you can read that gives you descriptions for every enemy you've encountered, every gun you've picked up, every item you've picked up, every boss you've fought. I think that's really cool, especially because the stuff that's in there actually pretty much gives you enough information to know a decent amount of history about the universe the game takes place in. It wasn't needed at all, but the world definitely feels lived in, even if all you see in it is this one gungeon.
Yeah, it feels like an actual world.
also with like the game's NPCs and stuff as well, the different people you encounter in the dungeon, the fact that there's a guy, one of the NPCs, literally just exists to show up and steal shit that you don't pick up.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious that they dedicate a secret floor to you being able to kick the shit out of him. It's great.
You like stealing from me, motherfucker? Just go in there and wreck his shit.
Oh, he's also the hardest boss in the game, so that's
Oh,
cool.
nice. How wholesome.
So it doesn't feel like the game just gives up and hands you your victory there.
Yeah, no, it's like, nah, you gotta earn it still. Alright. Well, do you have anything else you want to say about Enter the Gungeon? Or we all good?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Alrighty. Well,
my favorite item is Scattershot, by the way.
now I feel like I know what you're.
It basically turns every gun into a shotgun, and I think that's really cool.
Alrighty. Well, here we go. Sirplaysalot.
All right.
I'm excited to see what's your number 6.
Now, despite me having 64 in my username, you might notice that they're not really that much, if any, N64 games so far.
I did notice.
Well, for number 6, we're going to fix that with my all-time favorite N64 game. That being Banjo-Kazooie.
I love Banjo-Kazooie. God, I really wish I put that
I
on
love
my
it
list.
so much too.
I'm sad.
Where do I even start?
God, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, for one, I think I've said this before, but I think it's aged a lot better. It's a lot more fun than Mario 64 for me. Like, when that's because of the gameplay. Like, for Mario 64, like, you just get all your moves off the gate, whereas Banjo-Kazooie, you're always learning more each new level. It's like ever expanding. Yeah, it makes traversing the level so fun. Speaking of which, the levels are all great, except for Rusty Bucket Bay. That level alone is the reason why it's only number 6. Rusty Bucket Bay can eat shit. But other than that, diarrhea dump. We have Freeze Easy Peak, Click Clock Wood, Momo's Mountain, Bubble Goop Swamp. All of them are so good, so unique from each other. Like, another thing that I think edges it over Mario 64 for me is the NPCs. Whereas Mario 64 is like, help me, or get the star, or something like that. No, everyone here has unique personalities, like unique missions.
You will not see it at the end of this game.
They all give you reasons to want to help them, and they're all so funny. Like, this is also it's a really funny, cartoony game.
Yeah.
Like, it feels, of all the N64 games, it feels most like a classic Looney Tunes in a bit. Even with how simplistic the story is, where you're just trying to save your sister from a witch who wants to swap their beauty and ugliness.
You know, actually,
it's like the Nintendo 64 equivalent of Crash Bandicoot.
No, actually,
yeah.
I would say that this is more of well, I don't know, maybe Conker's more this, but I'll say for this game as well. This game feels like
Conker's
the
Conker's
Shrek.
A bit like Looney Tunes as well.
Conker's more like Shrek.
The more violent part of it.
Yeah, I would say Conker's more like Shrek, and Banjo-Kazooie's kind of like classic Looney Tunes, which both work. I mean, I've only played a little bit of Conker's Bad Fur Day, to be fair, but
I haven't beat it yet.
I feel like that's...
If I did, it might be on the list. Or honorable mention, who knows?
Who knows?
Also, just like the graphics a lot more better than... I know I keep shitting on Mario 64, but Character Zone, the graphics really help the levels stand out and more unique. Yeah, I've already said how beautiful the levels are. Let's see.
Poor Mario
Soundtrack
64,
is
man.
cool.
We just keep dunking on that poor game.
Yeah, and speaking
Super
of
Mario
which,
64, more like Super Mario Shit 64.
No, leave him alone.
we got Trevor. Is that you?
No.
And, just kidding. Love you, Trevor. Anyways,
Please don't
another
shoot
advantage
me.
it has is actually like collecting this stuff. Like you don't get forcefully moved out of the levels, nor do you nor are there like too many of them to the point where it's easy to get them like in Odyssey. It's like there's the just enough collectibles to make it feel padded out.
Yeah.
Only downside is like I played the N64 version, so every time I died, I had to collect the music notes on the stage I died in.
Mm.
That sucked.
See, I.
Oh yeah, and the soundtrack is great.
Oh my god, that sounds.
Probably the best that in any Rare game, honestly.
I I would agree. It's probably my favorite soundtrack on any N64 game, hands down. Like,
Yes.
the soundtrack's really good.
And even though I compare it a lot to Mario 64 here, this game really does stand on its own in terms of 3D collectathons.
I think.
It
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
really is no other game like Banjo-Kazooie.
Aside Banjo 2.
I haven't played 2 yet, but
Sorry.
I haven't played that yet, but I have played a bit of Nuts and Bolts. It's
Sucks.
well, John said it best. Yeah, I think I've said it all.
For my awareness, isn't Nuts and Bolts? I remember somebody saying that it was on a video about Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine, but the person said Mean Meat Machine is on a level of why did you even make this as Nuts and Bolts? Where it's just
Well,
like it doesn't fit the series, it's stupid, it's not fun.
Well, see, the problem with
And also, it's just directly insulting because you're killing Meat Boy throughout that game. But like, doesn't Banjo-Kazooie
Nuts and Bolts is even more insulting with the whole
Doesn't it start
gamers
with the
today
two of
don't
them
want.
being?
Yes, I was about to
Doesn't it
say
start
they're
with
like
the two of them being overweight and you can't do anything?
well,
yes, and then the Lord
yeah,
of
go ahead.
Games comes down. And he's like, no, gamers don't want this. They just want to shoot stuff nowadays. Fuck collectathons.
Yeah, that game's a huge
Makes it
spin.
hate it even more because I'm going to straight up say it. Nuts and Bolts is pretty much the Teen Titans Go of the Banjo-Kazooie
Honestly,
series.
I was actually gonna say it was, in my opinion, that I feel like when Nuts and Bolts released, that was the day, in my opinion, where I said Rare. Like, whenever I first heard about Nuts and Bolts, which, funny enough, it was from JonTron. Remember JonTron? Yeah, he's funny. I think still.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people don't like him now, but
He's also racist.
He didn't he apologize for that though?
Yeah, but with the internet, where you make one mistake, they'll never let you down.
They'll never.
I have no idea.
Well, like
I don't actively keep up with JonTron.
Well, JonTron, like he
let's
says
not talk
something.
about drama. Let's just wrap this up.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, wonderful game, stands on its own. Definitely my favorite collectathon ever, and that's all I have to say.
Alrighty, Banjo.
On to number 5.
I will hold on. I do want to say this about Banjo-Kazooie. Nuts and Bolts specifically killed the series in my eyes. Like this is, mind you, this was like I played Banjo-Kazooie for the first time in 2019, and I didn't really know what Nuts and Bolts was. All I've heard about it was it's a shitty game, and I was like, okay, well, like because they didn't refer to it as Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and then because I got Rare Replay, and I remember my dad getting me that. Well, he got it because he wanted to play Snake, Rattle, and Roll, which is another game on there. I think he also wanted to play Battletoads. But anyways, so I played it, and I loved Banjo-Kazooie, and I was like, man, what other games are there? And you know that scene from Toy Story 2, where it's like, come on, why can't we watch the next episode? And it's like, 2 words, Spud Nick. It's like, what happened to Banjo-Kazooie? 2 words, Nuts, Bolts. Like, that's how it felt. It made me so sad because I thought,
Two words, nuts and bolts. The and is that and symbol, so it's not a word.
yeah, it's not a word. Okay. All right, number five. Number five. So,
Sorry, I keep coughing. Yeah,
oh no, you're all right. You're all right. This is going to be a weird one because there's a certain franchise we still haven't mentioned. I mean, we talked about Mario, yeah. We talked about so on and so forth. But the one franchise I was shocked we didn't talk about. Well, I mean,
Legend of Zelda.
No, not Zelda. One of the most popular video games of all time, Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if you guys ever played a Grand Theft Auto game. I mean, if you haven't, I mean, you know.
I haven't.
I mean, I would have expected someone would have played 5, because 5 is obviously the most popular one. That's the one that everybody praises to high heaven. My number 5 pick is not Grand Theft Auto 5, it's Grand Theft Auto 4. This was not my first Grand Theft Auto. I played Vice City beforehand, but this was the first one I played that I was like, wow. Gaming ain't going to get much better than this. Mind you, I'm older now and I've played other games, and obviously some games obviously do look better than Grand Theft Auto 4. But Grand Theft Auto 4 was like the first game where it really felt like real life to me, I guess is like the right word. Like, not like on the sense of, oh my gosh, this is like the graphics are groundbreaking, but based on the gameplay, like going places, you're going to a store, you're buying shit, you can do all this other silly shit. It's fun, and I think Grand Theft Auto 4 is like the best of that. I remember looking up how to do cheats. I remember getting into shootouts with the cops. I remember 4-star chases. I remember how it was like there was an online mode, and I watched so many videos on it. Not only did I watch videos on that, I also watched videos on the mods that people did, because people did mods of Grand Theft Auto 4. And I remember being so excited for another Grand Theft Auto game by the name of Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, I'm not going to shit on Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is not a horrible game. But 5 took away a lot of what made Grand Theft Auto 4 so fun to me. Grand Theft Auto 4 is way more dark and realistic than Grand Theft Auto 5. You take place in Liberty City and you play as an immigrant named Nico, and then not really hilarity ensues. It's really down to earth and serious. There's moments where you don't even know what's going to happen to your character. Like, at certain points in the game, I legitimately just thought Nico was going to croak because, like, there was just so much bad shit happening. Obviously, that's not what happens, but you just can't help but feel bad. And even the ending of the game, that was the first time in a video game where, like, it did not give me, like, the good ending. You know, like, good endings in video games, yeah, like, Banjo-Kazooie, oh, I beat Gruntilda, or, so on and so forth. This game doesn't give you that. This game makes you kind of go, oh, that's legitimately it? And then the last phone call you get, it really depends on your ending. I only got one of the endings, but I feel like that's the definitive ending. It's that one last salt in the wound ending that makes you go, damn. You know, like, I love Grand Theft Auto 4. And I grew up with it, and I think I beat it for the first time a long time ago, but I think, like, replaying it, it really was like, yeah, this has to be on my best list. No contest. But yeah, that is my number 5. Sorry again. I've just... Sorry. Oh, you're good. I really do love this game a lot. This is probably...
Yeah, let me get some water real quick.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Maybe I should get water too. Fuck. We'll wait for Sirsplaysalot to return.
You know what? Since he's getting water, I'll go get water as well.
You know what? That's a good idea. Alright. Roxy, we are now on to your number 5. Oh, Roxy ain't back yet. We all went to go get drinks. So, our apologies that I thought Roxy was back. I thought I saw their light come back on. So Sir plays a lot. You having a good time?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You know, I just so happened to
I
have.
think this.
Oh,
I think this is among the most fun we've ever had recording one of these episodes.
well, it's definitely our longest episode. It's about to be 2 hours, but it's fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
It might be longer than Shrek, which I think Shrek's 2 hours.
Our Shrek episode.
Yeah.
The Shrek episode was 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, why did it say 2 hours on? I guess that was preparation. So I looked back at the messages and said, you spent 2 hours on this call on this particular date, which was the day we recorded the Shrek episode.
That's weird. I mean, I know I left after we got done with the episode. I think I went to go do something. Oh, I think I... No.
Hi.
All right, well... Oh, hold on, 1
Oh,
second.
Roxy!
1 second. I mean, it doesn't matter, but... Oh, sorry. Okay. Go right ahead, Roxy, with your number 5.
And did you hit record?
Yeah, we're recording.
What?
I paused it when we went to go get drinks.
Jesus.
All right, go right ahead.
Sorry, just a second. I'm typing something. There we go. It's Night in the Woods.
Night of the Woods. The game
In the Woods.
Yeah, the game you want me to play so bad.
In the game that since you said you're getting footage, I am forcing your hand in by including it.
Yeah,
and I'm not including it to force your hand, by the way. It just happens to be in here.
Well, joke's on you. I know
and
a
I'm just
friend
like,
who
well,
has
hey, I
footage
guess
of
you
that
have to
game.
play it.
Yeah, but I know a friend
What?
who recorded footage of it. That person is by the name of RoxyReviews. I'm just going to steal your footage. So that you got tricked.
You don't know. I'm
Got
not
her.
giving you permission to use my footage.
What are you
Got
going to do
her.
about it? Call the police? And then just like a bunch of police officers break into my room. And then you're like,
Well, you know what? You know what? It could be like what happened with Sirplayalot in LS Mark.
No, I'll put a link in the description. Don't worry. Please don't get me in trouble. Please. I beg of you.
But
Anyways, go ahead. Why do you like Nights in the Woods?
well, okay. It definitely stands out of all the games on my list because it's the only one to not really focus on the gameplay at all. Like the gameplay is mainly just a means through which you can explore the town. But when I say explore the town, I don't mean like exploring for collectibles or secret items or whatever. You're just exploring for the sake of to like talking to the people in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool that happens. I mean, in addition to that, the game like has like a story that's going on. Like there is a definitive, I guess, time frame during which it happens. Like there's a distinct beginning and end event. But and near the end it begins focusing on the thing that's going to happen at the end. But for the most, and by the way, that's not a problem with the gamer.
Yeah.
When I went on to say, but for the most part, the game is kind of going around the town and like talking to the people, and I think that's really cool. I realized if I just said it like that, it would sound like I'm complaining about the way the game ends. That's not what I meant to do, but I also don't want to spoil it since you haven't played the game.
I don't think either of us have played the game.
I also
I've never played it.
the music is really good. The art direction's really good. It has a very distinct look to it. I think that's really cool. I also think it's funny that like it's part of the art style, but characters either are always facing forward or are always facing to the side, and that never changes no matter what.
Interesting.
I think that's really interesting.
I agree.
But yeah, no, it's a very appealing look as well, and the characters are fun.
I've seen the art style of the game, definitely. Like, I mean, you use clips of it in your videos, I believe. Yeah, no, yeah.
The Kung Fu Panda 4 video, and I
Yeah,
said the most
there's a
intimidating
guy
thing she
falling
does is
down the
push a guy
stairs.
down to the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have anything else you want to say about the game? Or
Well, I could, but that would go into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to say anything
all right.
else.
Same goes for my game. They're about to get to.
All right. Well,
Let me,
go right ahead,
let me
sir. Oh, sorry.
just when I had difficulty placing it, at some point it was like number. I think at some point this was like number 3, 2, or even 1. But I decided to bump it down to number 5 a bit. That being Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky.
Oh my god, it's the game where you get to be your fursona for real. That's cool.
Yes.
Isn't that? Aren't the? Okay, question, real quick. Aren't those the games where you actually play as the Pokemon?
Yes.
It's
Like
the
you
game
take
where
a
you literally
quiz,
get
turn into a
transported
Pokemon,
into
and
a you
go
get
around dungeons
transported
that are
into that universe.
auto-generated.
Nice.
Which I guess it's one part
Oh my
because
god!
there are
Pokemon
sometimes
Binding of Isaac.
I immediately spawn in like a monster house and it sucks. But other than that, it's relatively fair with the auto generation.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's still Pokemon, so you still got elemental types. Plus the item usage, which makes it really deep and compelling. Speaking of deep and compelling, though, this genuinely has one of the best stories out of not just any Pokemon game, not just debatably any Nintendo game, but out of any video game, period.
Hmm.
I really do admire it that much. Unfortunately, I can't go because unlike it's like with Roxy and Night in the Woods, I can't go that much deep into it because I don't think you two have played it, so it'll be massive spoilers.
Yeah.
All I will say is that there is time travel involved, but in a good way, not in the late year way.
Or the Dial of
Oh my
Destiny way.
god! Pokemon and the Dial of Destiny.
Gosh dang it! You
No.
stole my joke.
My favorite Pokemon generation is the one with Pokemon Dial and Pokemon Temple.
Oh god.
Anyways, when I can't talk about the story, I can talk about the characters, like your partner, the Wigglytuff Guild, the many treasure hunters. They're all really good and fun characters. And they get more layers once you unlock the side stories, which not only gives you more content to do, but adds new additional layers to the side characters that you never thought would be there,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So I love when media does that. Love when they give depth to even the side characters.
Oh, it's always nice. Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially,
So let's see.
I'm sorry for asking so many questions. Isn't this an RPG?
Yeah, it's a dungeon crawling RPG.
So like Diablo, kind
So
of. Sorry.
yeah, kind of. So let's see. The combats, as mentioned, is deep, and so are the bosses, which are really compelling. Again, can't say much about them because spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really great game, an amazing game. You should definitely play it at some point.
I will have. You did put this.
And it might even make you cry. That's how great the story is.
You actually did recommend this on my game list, so I mean it's definitely on there.
Yay! You'll play it eventually.
Yeah, can't guaranteed win, but I mean honestly, like
Don't know when. Don't know
don't know
how.
how, but I will get to
Sunny
it.
day.
All right,
But anyways, that's my number 5.
valid. All right. Okay, so now we're in the top 4. I really don't even have to look at my phone anymore because I know what my number 4 is. And ever since I played this game, okay, this is going to be weird. 2020 was probably one of the worst years of my life, as for everybody else probably. I would think so, but many people are like, "Oh, it's actually one of the best years of my life." And I'm like, "How?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Does 2024
I mean, if
count
you like being a
considering
recluse, then yeah, I can see the appeal of 2020.
Well,
does 2024 count as the worst year of my life, given that it was mostly fine, but there was one really big event that kind of.
I mean this is one of those games, which along with another game on my list, won't say what yet because we're not to that point. This game I actually sat down and played through, and I genuinely thought that this game could possibly be the best video game ever created. And well, now it's not, because now it's number 4, but I do say if you ever want to make a good horror game, you need to take notes from this. And that is FNAF Security. No, I'm kidding.
Let me guess.
No.
It's Resident Evil 4, isn't it?
Nope. Resident Evil Village. Sorry. No. Sorry. Resident Evil 7. Genuinely one of the best horror games, hands down. The atmosphere is dark and brooding. The characters are really lifelike. I know a lot of people don't like Ethan Winters because he talks like an idiot, and I agree. I'd rather him not talk, but when he does talk, he's not just saying stupid bullshit. He's a scared man going into an environment that, honestly, if anybody else would have went into, they would have went, oh god, I don't know what to do. And honestly, the setting of this game being just in a house is genuinely one of the times that a game actually played into a real life fear of mine. For anyone who doesn't know, there was a time in my life, I'm just going to kind of go over this, I'm not going to go into too much detail. There was a time in my life where I spent the night at another person's house. And at that person's house, I was genuinely terrified of what was going to happen. Now, mind you, nothing did happen. And basically, that led to my fear of going to other people's houses unless I got to fully know them. Because I didn't know these people, and I spent the night there. My parents knew them, but I didn't. So, with Resident Evil taking place not only in a house, but also taking place, just in an area like that, yeah, I would say, like, it does play into that fear a little bit. Also, my not arachnophobia. What's the fear of bugs? Just, like, bugs in general. I fucking hate bugs, because they're scary.
Yeah, let me look it up.
Okay, good. Thank you. This game plays into that fear very well, because I'm like, oh my god, bugs! Ooh! Don't crawl on me!
Entomophobia.
Yeah, that.
Entomophobia.
Actually, funny thing.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be entomophobia? Because I remember there was like a joke on Phineas and Ferb where Doofenshmirtz was like, I think it was something where he was like, I don't know about this subject. I'm going to go look it up in the entomology book. Entomology is the study of insects. He walks back and is like, it was the wrong subject.
But with Resident Evil, also another thing, this game helped me get over my fear of bugs too. Well, neat fun fact about me: this game helped me get rid of my fear of bugs. But that's neither here nor there. The gameplay is really addicting. It's first-person shooter, but honestly, I will say this: this game has enough scares in it to even make like someone who's like, oh, I don't really get scared by horror games. Yeah, you'll be jumping in this game. Like, it will scare you. But it's also like, its atmosphere is just so good. I don't even know really how to explain it. The atmosphere of being in a destroyed house with these fucking hillbillies that are going to basically turn you into a grotesque monster. It's scary, and I love it. This game is just, it's still good, and I still love it to pieces. However, it's still not high, and it's only because of one section. I don't like the oil tanker section. So basically, it's not an oil tanker, but it's a, what is it? What is it called? It's just like it's a carrier. It's like a boat carrier. Yeah, not a big fan. But other than that, I think this game definitely deserves to be number 4 at least, because everything else about the game is really scary. Also, the achievements in this game and the DLC are really good. I love lost footage. The story after the events of Resident Evil 7 is also fantastic. And yeah, if any of you love horror games out there, pick up Resident Evil 7 if you haven't already. It's really fucking good. So, all right, so there you guys go. If you guys have anything else you guys want to say, we could just move on to Roxy's.
Roxy, your number 4 is...
Is
Shovel
what?
Knight. I told you it would be a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Oh,
Yeah, the Mousecatools.
the Mousecatools. And then the fucking Mousecatool just hits me in the back of the head.
It's like a brick.
Oh my
It all
god!
came full circle.
See, that's all. This is what it's all about. The brick. Anyways, go ahead, Roxy. Sorry.
Yes. So Shovel Knight's really good. It's a so. So first off, let me just say Shovel Knight, like, the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Here's the thing. So Shovel Knight kind of got renamed to Shovel Knight Treasure Trove because one of the Kickstarter goals resulted in it needing to have DLC that basically functioned as full games as well. Although you can buy the DLC as separate games if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But if you own Shovel Knight itself, you don't need to do that. You know?
Yeah.
So Shovel Knight is basically 5 games. Shovel of Hope, Plague of Shadows, Spectre of Torment, King of Cards, and Shovel Knight Showdown, which is like Super Smash Brothers with Shovel Knight characters. Here's the thing. I think that with I don't really like Plague of Shadows all that much. Like, it's fine, but it is basically Shovel of Hope, but but you're playing as a character not designed for those levels.
Scepter. The Scepter character. The Death character.
But I like Plague Knight as a character. He's my favorite character in that.
I don't know why I thought it was called
But
Knight. Go ahead.
But well, Spectre Knight is a different character.
Yeah, I would figure.
I think Plague Knight stage was... Then the giant fish level were the ones featured in Rivals of Aether.
All right, go ahead, Roxy. Continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah. So that's like my accidentally kicked my phone charger out of the wall. But yeah, so like Plague of Shadows, giving you... I guess they're not exactly the same, but they are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Because it adds, like, a secret area to each of them. But that's really about it. That's different.
Yeah.
But every other one is basically its own game that takes place in the Shovel Knight universe. And it's all a cohesive universe. Yes, Plague of Shadows, the events don't play out the same way as in Shovel of Hope, despite them taking place at the same time. But the reason why they don't play out the same way is because Plague Knight, it's literally confirmed that each of them is told from the point of view of each character you play as. And Plague Knight just fucking lies about some of the events to make himself look better.
What a little trickster. Oh man. I
think that's really funny.
I have played a little bit of Shovel Knight because it's also on my list. As you guys can tell, I definitely do ask for a lot of game recommendations. But that was one of the games I was recommended, and I played a little bit of it on my own time, and I do enjoy it a little. It is fun to play. Mind you, not my favorite game of all time, but I mean, I have not beaten it yet, so I can't really say that. But okay. Anything else about Shovel Knight?
Genuinely, like, here's the thing: if each of them were their own separate games, and I was allowed to include multiple games per franchise on the list, then 3 out of the 5 games in Shovel Knight would be on the list in my top 10 list. So
All right.
being
Wait, that was a
Shovel of Hope,
rule?
which is the
Wait,
yeah,
that was a rule. I didn't know that
I
actually.
think it was.
Yeah, I did kind of was like, don't do a lot of repeats of series.
I mean, here's the thing: my list would look the exact same, even if that wasn't a
Same
rule.
with my list.
I'm just saying that if they weren't all part of the same game, and then then
Yeah.
Shovel of Hope, Spectre of Torment, and King of Cards would all be on my top 10 list anyway. Just the fact that they're all part of the same game, technically speaking, makes it even cooler.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
And by the way, if you want to know my ranking, for at worst to best, I guess out of those 5, it's probably Plague of Shadows, since it's like a worse version of Shovel of Hope. Showdown, because fighting games aren't really my thing, but I mean it's still cool that it exists and is like
Yeah.
a full-on fighting game in the game for free. Shovel of Hope, which is the fact that the original is in the middle is incredible, because Shovel Knight, the original Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope, is a masterpiece on it in its own right. Spectre of Torment, which I feel like I don't even really have to explain these at a certain point, but Spectre of Torment and King of Cards. King of Cards is number 1, by the way. Spectre of Torment and King of Cards are very fun as well. Spectre of Torment allows you to do a lot of things with Spectre Knight's moveset, which is very fun to hack and slash through the levels, because you can sort of glide through enemies, which is really fun to do. And King of Cards, King Knight's interesting in how he controls, because he's more dopey and limited than the other characters. But that's what makes it fun, you know, because you have to make with his limited, like his moveset with certain rules that you have to kind of work around and with in the level design to traverse the stages. And you know, he's still fun to control anyway. So it's not like they made it bad or hard to play for the sake of making it I guess more interesting. But he is a limited character in how he works, but those limitations make it more interesting and fun, and they don't make him unplayable.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Also, King Knight's just a really funny character anyway.
King Knight seems funny. So, I do like how King Knight is a character. Anyways,
What Shovel Knight have you played?
huh? I've been playing Shovel of Hope, the main.
I played Rivals of Aether, but I get the feeling that doesn't count.
Completely different game. It's like, yeah, I played this one. This is my favorite Shovel Knight game. That's like me saying, oh, my favorite.
Oh, okay, here's the thing. Shovel Knight is in a lot of games. Like he's like the indie game equivalent of Stan Lee.
Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, he literally has. He has an appearance in Smash Bros. I mean, like.
Even has his own amiibo.
He does have his own.
There's actually a fighting game. I don't remember what it's called, but there's actually a fighting game where both
Brawlhalla.
he and Isaac from the Binding of Isaac are playable. And I think the fact that you can play as Shovel Knight and beat the shit out of a 5-year-old is really funny.
Isn't it Brawlhalla?
I don't think so. But I know it exists.
Who knows? All right. Well, Sirplaysalot, your turn.
Okay. This is another one I like tossed up between 5 and 4. I've decided it's gonna be number 4 since I haven't played much games of the series, but I do love the character that much. Put her up this high. Number 4 is Shantae, half genie hero.
Woo! Shantae. Sorry.
Shantae.
Shantae. Another game I need to get through. Sorry, go ahead.
Of course, even though this is more of a platformer, not like a adventurous Metroidvania game like the others, it's still fun. Like, you still have the same moveset. Like, hair whipping, climbing, animal transformation. It's all still there. Plus, the levels are really cool. First, you got the Burning Town, the Mermaid Factory, the Carpet Race, the Pirate's Lair, Abandoned Castle.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's fun. And they even have like extra modes like the Switch Force mode or Beach mode. Like, still use the same level, not level themes, but remixes them in a way that still makes them stand out from the base game. Some of which do tie into the story of the game, which is simple but still effective. Like, I haven't played it in a while, so I can't fully comment, but yeah.
Sorry.
Like I said, there are some side modes that connect to the base game, like Risky, where you play as Risky Boots, or Friends to the Rescue, where you play as Shantae's 3 friends, Sky Bolo and Roddy Tops.
Her only 3 friends. She's very lonely.
Oh, poor Shantae.
Yeah, she's for being the genie guardian of Scuttletown, she's lonely, unfortunately.
Oh.
Maybe that's what the next game is for, but as to this, the music slaps. Like, I think this and number 2 might be good contenders for my favorite game soundtrack. Trust me, number 2 is awesome as well. Yeah, that's how I describe Sean. Oh, and the cute graphics. I absolutely adore the art style of the Shantae series, even if it slightly changes from game to game. Yeah, it's
That's normal.
Yeah.
a simple game that hits a lot for me.
Didn't Shantae...
And made me
Oh,
a fan of the character. Love Shantae. Love Half Genie Hero. That's my number 4.
Nice. I was going to bring up one thing real quick. Didn't Shantae have a 3D or a DSi game? Was that...
Yeah, I think that's the first one I played. Don't remember much of it.
I have my Switch here. Let me... Because here's the ones I have. So, hold on one second. The ones I have is... Oh my god, I got a lot of stuff here. Shantae in the Pirate's Curse, Shantae's Risky Revenge, and then Half Genie Hero. Risky Revenge Director's Cut, my bad. Alright, well... Here we go, guys and girls and non-binaries, aka me, I guess. But
We're literally one of each.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's the perfect. It's perfect.
We literally have one guy, one gal, and one non-binary pal.
Exactly. This is what it's all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary specimen. That's from Hell of a Boss. That's from Hell of a Boss.
And I'm laughing at it. Damn. Why can't you be that funny? Okay, anyways. So, number 3. Oh, man. Number 3 is actually gonna... This is, like, probably one of the games that I'm like... If we were to ever, like... If I was ever to convince, like, we should do an episode on that, I would want it to be number 3. Over number 1 and 2, by the way. But I know I love the other 2 more, but... Here we go. My number 3 pick is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. AKA one of the best told video game stories of all time. Hands down, my favorite video game story ever told in a piece of media.
And does it also involve time travel?
No. Actually, they joke about it.
I mean...
They make a joke about it.
I have to admit...
Oh, sorry.
I have to admit, if I were in the Metal Gear Solid universe, I would be a Snake Eater.
No, Jesus Christ, Roxy. So this game is way different than the other Metal Gear games, and I love it for it. So, in Metal Gear Solid, 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, to an extent, I think, even has this. Which a lot of people love Metal Gear Solid 2. I have not played Metal Gear Solid 2 yet. I do plan to, but that's neither here nor there. The thing that I love about Snake Eater is the fact that, one, it's completely replayable. Like, I mean, all the Metal Gear, everybody's going to be like, well, all the Metal Gear games are replayable. You can always replay Metal Gear Solid. But 3 always felt like the one where it's like, you know, you could just do so much stupid shit. You can kill bosses, like, hours before you interact with, like, another boss. Like, I think, like, the best example is this game's...
Is the end?
Well, okay, the funny thing about the
Yes,
end...
I heard about that one.
Yeah, the end in this game, for you, Roxy, because I don't think you know. So there's a character in this game called the End. He's an old-ass sniper rifle operator who fought... I believe he fought in World War II. World War I and II. Basically, he's part of the Cobra unit, and they are basically a bunch of... They are the main villains in this game, and there's a huge plot twist in the beginning. I will not spoil unless you know, but I don't want to even spoil it anyways for people who don't. And when you play through the story, you learn more about the Cobra unit. But what makes it even better is the fact that the Cobra unit in this game are just a bunch of different people, one of which being the End. And you can kill the End twice before you can there's 2 chances where you can kill the End in the game, like before his boss fight. So the first one, and the most memorable one, is before you fight him, you can save and then just not play the game for a couple days. And then when you come back, he's dead. He's already dead. He just died of old age. And you can also, like, you can just go into your you can go into your system's clock and just fast forward the time. And then what would happen is Snake would say that he's dead, and then he feels bad that he didn't give him the last fight he deserved because, he's an old-ass man. Versus like a 20, 30-something-year-old solid Snake. I mean, it would have been a fair fight, I bet. Anyways... So,
Indiana Jones movies nowadays.
Old-ass man versus like 20 to 30-something-year-old men who have huge military
Old-ass man versus Walmart Ryan Gosling with a gun.
Exactly. Well, in this game...
No witnesses.
No witnesses. In this game, what makes it even better is the fact that when you fight the End, there's another point where you can kill him, and I don't think many people know this way, like unless they actively play Metal Gear Solid 3. So the End will be kind of on like a pier line or something like that, and so he'll be like sitting there, minding his own business, and then you can shoot him from a distance, and then he fucking explodes. By the way, all the bosses in this game explode. He fucking explodes, and then his wheelchair wheel goes flying right through the sky, and it fucking hits you. And it's fucking hilarious every time that happens. Every time when I watch that video of someone doing it, it always cracks me up. But what makes this game even better than, I would even say, many other games is this game really relies on how well they tell their story. And the story of Metal Gear Solid... It's always been a little goofy. I'm not going to deny it. Metal Gear Solid is a pretty goofy franchise. But here, it's not. It's a real sad tale about betrayal, neglect, honor, integrity, doing what you believe to be right versus what many other people would tell you is actually wrong. Loyalty to a government versus loyalty to the people. I can go on. This game does a great job explaining the story of people who fought and done a lot for their country, only just to not be remembered for it. Which is a somber tale. And Metal Gear Solid 3 does a great job explaining it. The boss fights in this game also are some of the most well-crafted boss fights I ever played in a video game. So, one of the fights, as I mentioned,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to pee, but I will leave my computer audio on so I'll be able to hear you from the bathroom. I just won't be able to say anything.
Okay. So, in Metal Gear Solid 3, you have the End, which is basically... if you try fighting him correctly, it's a sniper battle, and you have to try to sneak up on him. Mind you, there's 3 areas, so you can probably miss him by accident, and then he'll fucking pop you. He'll just shoot you right in the distance, and then you go, ow! And he's like, nice try, Snake. And then he throws down a flashbang, and you gotta find him again. There's the fear where you have to use heat-seeking, like heat... What's it called? Like, the thing where, like, it can search your body heat. Like, you will be searching through him via that method the entire way through. But he's not that hard to kill, and if you have a shotgun, he's really easy. Or was it a machine gun? I don't know. But he's pretty easy. He's called the Fear. There's the Pain, which is a guy who has a bunch of bees, and he can control them. There's Ocelot, who is basically probably one of the most integral characters in the Metal Gear Solid story. Most notably, he starts off as a villain, but then he... never mind. You don't know what happens to him. I'm not going to tell you. And then at one point in the game, you go against the villain called the Boss. Now, I won't spoil anything about the Boss, but there's a reason why they have that name. And at the end of the game, well, this snake is called Naked Snake. It's still, but many people call him Big Boss. So there's a little hint on how he gets his new name. There's also the Sorrow, who is a character that basically, depending on how many times you killed or like killed an enemy, the game punishes you for it, saying that these are the lives you killed, people who were just fighting because they were forced to, and you just killed them without a single thought. And that's the boss fight, and I love it. It's a beautiful boss fight, because you don't really think about it whenever you kill a Goomba in a Mario game. But it's like, I mean, they probably had like a family to feed. And you just pick them off like flies. And I love that Metal Gear Solid makes me think about that kind of stuff. Because I would rather a game go, hey, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Instead of, oh, well, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, scamp. Keep killing people. Like, I'd rather them not do that. I'd rather them go, hey, these are people's lives. These aren't just characters in a video game. Like, that's what I like about it. And then my favorite boss fight of the game, the Fury, is genuinely probably one of the best boss fights because you actually have to rely on stealth instead of just chitty chitty bang bang. He's dead. Okay, cool. Alright, next level. That's what I love about the Fury. Okay, enough about Metal Gear Solid 3. One last thing. The voice acting is awesome, and I cannot wait for Delta Snake Eater to release. Because that's the remake for this game, and it's coming out in August. Sorry, I had to explain a lot, but it's my third favorite video game of all time, and used to be my favorite video game of all time, but 2 games surpassed it. That was a lot of talking. Roxy, it's your turn if you're back. We will wait for Roxy to return. Man, I love Metal Gear. Sorry, I keep talking about it. But man,
That's fine.
I love Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Colonel.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Colonel.
Colonel.
There's a gorilla over here with a tie. He's huge.
Yeah. I think it's funny that they added him into Smash Bros. It's also funny because Snake's final smash in that game doesn't come from Solid Snake. It comes from Big Boss. His final smash, which is Covering Fire, and Metal Gear Solid 5, Covering Fire is a way how you can get more material. Or have your teammates come in and, or have your army that you build up come in and start attacking people. Sorry, again, love Metal Gear. Alright, I'll pause the recording real quick. Alright, Roxy, what is your number 3 pick?
Well, you're not going to like this one, I think.
Why?
It's Astrobot.
Oh, wow. Wait, why?
Well, I think it's very good. I mean, it's clearly like inspired by 3D Mario, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly the Galaxy titles with the whole planets thing. But you know one of the things that it does that I think is very, very nice as like an improvement over that.
What?
Rather than having like you select a level and then you get a thing and then the level ends, which it's fine with the more linear design and planet hopping of Galaxy too. But I do like that an Astrobot, rather than doing it like that, it's just everything you can collect is in the level from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's yes, it's one level rather than, I guess, multiple within the same world. But at the same time, the way that basically functioned a lot of the time was just, hey, get the green star from this
This
area in this level, you know?
yeah. You know what?
So I do think that that formula change is nice. I also like the challenge levels. Those are very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. It's not It wasn't necessary or anything, but I like that some of the robots you have to rescue are dressed up like pre-existing characters.
Yeah. You know what Astrobot
Yeah.
really reminds me of?
Given that it is basically Sony celebrating itself.
It's celebrating their 30th
Astrobot
anniversary.
Astrobot was made by Sony executives masturbating, and I love it.
You know, actually, I want to say this real quick. Astrobot, because a lot of people compare it to Galaxy. Astrobot is not Mario Galaxy. Astrobot.
Oh no, it is its
no,
own thing.
No. It's not like Mario Galaxy at all. It's like 3D World.
No, I'm not. No.
No, it's like 3D World.
Yeah.
It's like that's like the more apt comparison. So I don't get why.
Well, I said it is clearly inspired by 3D Mario.
No.
I mentioned.
Yeah, I agree.
That the fact that the level design in Galaxy is far more linear.
Yeah,
with you not even being able to go back to planets you already left within the same stage.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was just saying. That it's a lot. It's not like Mario, because like a lot of people, I hear this all the time. It's like, this is Sony's Mario Galaxy. I'm like, it's not. It's 3D World, if anything.
You're just saying that because it's in space.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it clearly still takes
Lots of games taking place in space.
It clearly still
a lot
takes
of arcade
place.
games take place and they were made before Mario Galaxy.
It still clearly takes inspiration from the Mario, from not from basically just all of the 3D Mario games. I'm not going to deny that.
All the IPs.
But I feel like what it does is it gets the best of all of them and sort of packages it together.
Mm-hmm.
And it also removes the annoying mechanic of you got a star, you get kicked out of the level now.
Yep, go home. Basically. That's how I would say that game goes. But yeah, no, I was just saying I was just kind of sick of hearing that whole, oh, it's like Galaxy. It's like Galaxy. It's not like Galaxy. It's like 3D World. But no, I know you.
Now you know how Well, now you know exactly how I feel as a platform fighter fan.
Yes. they all just want to be Smash Bros. Fuck off.
No, they're unique.
Hey guys, have you ever considered the fact that Subway Surfers looks like a hallway and therefore it must be a ripoff of Crash Bandicoot?
Ah, should have thought of that. Now you're thinking, Roxy. I'm gonna go
using more brain power than the Smash clone argument people.
I'm gonna go make a Twitter post now. Okay, sorry.
Have you ever thought about the fact that Vulture was a card game and therefore must be a ripoff of PvZ Heroes?
Ah, should have thought of that. All right. Anything else you want to say about Astrobot?
Play it if you can.
You won't regret it.
I like that they're still adding levels. That's pretty cool.
I got so pissed when I got home one day and I just uploaded the final part, and then I can't remember. I think Gugonic told me, it's like, oh yeah, they added more levels to Astrobot, and I was like, I'm never gonna be fucking done with this game.
That it's Spider-Man.
Astrobot never ends. Do 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 do. I really need to play Pizza Tower. I really hope it comes out on PS5. You know, in a decade.
The next 7 years.
7 years later, I will already have been dead for 7 years.
Gee,
No.
this is not so epic. Anyways, Roxy? Or, sorry, Sir plays a lot. Oh, I was gonna ask, sorry, I was gonna ask.
Also,
Roxy,
by the way, my favorite, I know nobody asked, but my favorite cameo in Astrobot is Crash Bandicoot.
no way.
No way! It's not like I talked about one of his games earlier.
No. Got anything else you want to add? If you don't, we can go on to Sirplaysalot.
0 out of 10. There were no raccoons in the game.
That was Sly Cooper.
There.
No,
Shut up.
You don't count. You don't count.
None of the animal robots are raccoons. So clearly, it's a 0 out of 10.
Number 3 on your ranking. It's a 0 out of 10. Damn. What do you think about Crash Bandicoot then?
I'm like, who am I? The YMS of video games?
Oh, oh boy.
We're just roasting a lot of people in this video.
Yeah.
I love it.
Please don't DMCA us, guys. We really try here. Not all of us hate you. I love you, YMS. And then you just hear a gunshot go off. A whip crack. Alrighty.
He shows up and is like, in a world that I hate, you're the thing I hate the most.
You know what? That's valid. Alright. Sure plays a lot.
Anyways,
Floor is yours.
my number 3, which used to be number 1 for the longest time, but it switched around a bit.
Clearly, that must mean you hate it now.
No, I don't. Far from it. Despite me
I was
hating
making a joke.
I was about to say, despite me hating the fan base, this game still means a lot to me. This and number 1, especially. And of course, being Super Smash Brothers Brawl. My favorite in the series is not Ultimate. Kind of fallen out of love for it, but Brawl.
Alrighty.
Yes, I know Ultimate has the prettier graphics, but in a way, I kind of admire the more gritty graphics of Brawl. Like, same way I admire gritty graphics of like Half-Life or GTA, that kind of games. Like, something about them that's like not overly detailed, but charming in their own way.
Yeah.
Plus, like, characters still look badass in them. Speaking of which, this along with
Speaking
Ultimate
of
definitely
asses,
Snake. Sorry.
Speaking of asses, my best memory in Brawl is taking a screenshot of Fox's ass.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about Solid Snake. Solid Snake has a big booty in that game. Oh, you got me itching. Sorry.
They also nerfed Snake's ass in
Sakurai
Ultimate,
just took a cheese grater, like you know that clip in SpongeBob where he's like losing his mind and Squilliam returns and he grabs a guy and like rubs a cheese grater against his ass. That's what Sakurai did to Snake.
Yeah, he did. I was so upset. I was like, "Where's his booty?" And they're like, "Not here."
Anyways,
sorry.
This along with Ultimate has my favorite lineup of newcomers like Zero Suit Samus, Pit, Wario, Snake.
Yes.
Has some great obscure choices like I already mentioned Pit. Secondary choices like Mario. And this was the first game in the series to introduce third parties like Snake and Sonic. Which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
What else is awesome is the amount of content this has. Like, I'm still trying to 100% it. I'm unfortunately stuck with the shit like multi-man Smash, which is shit in every Smash game. To be fair,
I agree.
Yeah, that's not fun. But everything else from home run, boss battles, classic mode, target Smash, all of it's fun. great fun. So is the gameplay. Even if the tripping rarely happens for me. I don't know about you.
It,
And yes, it is slower than the Lord and Savior Melee, but hey, it still has strategy and depth to it.
Don't you see? It's like not exactly like the previous game, therefore it must be terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
guys, but Super Smash Bros. Brawl is actually really bad.
uh,
uh, the amount of times
I
I hear
especially hate
people.
those with
Oh, sorry.
the mindset like it's garbage if it's not 100% like Melee.
See,
Melee's the greatest thing to happen to
Yeah, well,
humanity.
how about we melee those people in the
oh my
face?
god,
Yes.
kick their ass. No, 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 no. Here's one thing I will say, because one of my biggest complaints, Melee is not a good game. Hot take alert. I don't like Melee.
Oh,
Because I think Melee isn't very fun. I think Melee is way too... Because, like, the whole... Like, I mean, it can be fun. Smash is always a good time. Any Smash game you play, it can be a good time. But Melee's not better than Brawl. And Smash 64... You know what? Okay, if we're gonna do this, then... Oh, man, why can't every entry be like Smash 64? Like, come on. Like, it's... Melee was rushed. And you can tell. It's a very rushed video game. And I'm sick of people pretending like it's a good game. Like, it's like the best Smash game ever. I own a copy.
really says a lot that Melee's the only Smash game I have yet to play.
I would say if you want to give it a try, it's not bad. It's just, oh man, it's Melee.
Not
Man.
that fun.
It's not the best. Like, I'm shocked people are like, oh, Ultimate's better than, or Melee's better than Ultimate. And I'm like, how? Like, but people can have their own opinions. But I genuinely.
But you know what else is? You
Oh,
know
God.
what is fun? The Subspace Emissary. Still
I was gonna say you're
awesome.
gonna say Subspace Ass.
Still amazing. Still surprisingly has a little depth to it, like with Lucas overcoming fears and being brave, or Rob realizing what he's doing is wrong and sadly has to watch his family blow up. And a lot of great character interactions.
Mhm.
Like it's just still so good.
I love Solid Snake when he
Too
first
bad,
appears.
too bad Ultimate's story mode is a complete downgrade in every way.
Yeah. Although I love it, I have to acknowledge when there's something better.
Although what Ultimate does have on par with Brawl is the amount of great remixes.
Oh my god, I love
It's
a lot of
so
the Brawl.
amazing. Sticker Bush Symphony, my favorite.
Isn't that
Then the remix
Yeah.
of the Smash 64 credits. Oh my god, there's so many great ones.
they really did a good job with the music in Melee. Or no, oh my god. Now I'm turning into a Melee fan. Sorry. In Brawl, they have a lot of great remixes. I mean, Melee does too. I'm not going to try to diss Melee on remixes. I'm just saying that you know what I meant. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Look at my notes. Great roster, nice graphics, hype as hell story mode,
Can I ask one question? What do you
amazing
think of the
soundtrack.
I was going to ask,
Wait,
what do you
what?
think of the stages in this game?
Oh, yeah, I think the stages are like the only gripe because you have Picto
Yeah.
Chat, which is my all-time favorite stage in the
I
series.
love Picto Chat.
And you have some of the worst stages like Cannonbow, Mario Bros,
Rumble Falls.
Rumble Falls, 75M. Oh, why do they keep bringing that shit back? No one
Newport
likes
City.
it.
New Donk City. That's a peak.
New Pork City.
Oh, Newport.
Newport City.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't hate Newport City. There's only one problem I have with Newport City.
Is
It's
that the Chimera?
not even really Chimera. It's just it kind of, from what I heard, it kind of spoils Mother 3 a little bit. Because that's supposed to be a plot twist.
Well, thankfully, I never picked up on it.
Well, you still won't until later on. But I figured it out pretty quick whenever I noticed the background whenever I played it. Like, not for the first time, because I never played Earthbound for the first
So
time.
we're on the subject of New Pork and Porky. The bosses are awesome. I think Taboo specifically is one of my all-time favorites in gaming. It's that amazing. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Brawl. My favorite fighting game. My favorite series, obviously. And number 3 on my list.
Well, sir, that was awesome. I sadly would say I like Ultimate more, but I get why you would like Brawl more. I mean, honestly, I remember when everybody hated Brawl, and I was like, oh, Brawl's actually pretty cool, though. And they're like, no,
Yeah,
it sucks!
you people crazy.
Yeah, like, oh, it's pretty good. But then people are like, no, it's actually really bad. And I was like, how? I mean, tripping. The only time when I tripped was whenever I wave dash. Like, that's the only time I ever tripped. So, maybe I should just stay tripping. Alright. On to number 2. So, here we are. I would say number 3, 2, and 1 never changed their positions. Unless I play something, obviously, completely mind-boggling and they dethrone number 1, then they go lower, obviously. My number 2 pick is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not only is this an amazing remake of Final Fantasy VII, but it also works on its own. Like, it doesn't need Final Fantasy VII's, like, base thing and be like, hey, remember this? Like, a whole memberberry section. They really do a new story with it, and Rebirth continues it. Now, I haven't finished Rebirth, so I can't really say, and honestly, I'm taking a break from that game after the horrible Chapter 11. God, that chapter sucks. But that's neither here nor there. What I will say is that this game has by far one of the best. It's one of the best looking games on the PS5 and on the PS4, depending on which version you play. The characters, I would say I love these versions of the characters more than the original, which is saying a lot because I don't hate the original characters, but like they feel more fleshed out in this version. Obviously, it's an RPG, but the combat, I love the combat. The combat's so much fun. One gripe, I feel like at the end there's way too many boss fights. Also, in case anybody's wondering, is it possible to beat the entire game without using any magic? Answer, yes. I accidentally played through, Mega Magic, which is your upgraded versions of magic. Answer that question, yes. I found that out the hard way because I was an idiot and I did not pay attention to any direction. So, I was an idiot. But overall, I would highly recommend, if you have not played Final Fantasy VII Remake, play through 7, at the very least, past Midgar, because I did, and I love 7 Remake so much. It's so good. And yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, but it's just a remake of an old game. No, this is completely different. And also, this was the second game that helped me get past a very horrible time in my life, but I didn't finish it until way later. I think I finished it in 2023. So, like, or I started in 2023, finished it in 2024. So yeah, that is my number. Oh, another thing, the soundtrack, my god, they brought back the original composer of the series, did a phenomenal job making new orchestral pieces of original music, and it just sounds so good. Nobu Uematsu, love your work. I would love to meet you in person one day, if you're watching this, because we know that everybody who's popular watches this podcast. Sorry. I don't really have a whole lot to say.
Get the fuck out of here.
Jeez. I don't have anything else really to say. Let's, right? If any of you guys have any questions about the RPGs, I mean, I can give a little insight. This game is really fucking good. Okay. Next. Roxy.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
This episode's 2 hours long.
So Roxy, what's your number 2?
I said this would be almost 3 hours long if each of us talked about each thing for 5 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm enjoying it, so I don't
But,
really care.
It's Cuphead as my number 2.
Wow.
That probably doesn't surprise any of you.
Uh-oh.
Like I've fully completed Cuphead like 10 times. So that includes like the S ranks and stuff. So
Man, Roxy.
yeah, what?
I was gonna make a joke and say, man, I can't believe you didn't put Mega Man X1 on here. Damn, SMH. Anyways, continue. Sorry. Roxy?
What?
Continue. Don't ignore me.
Anyway,
Ignore me.
Anyway, so yeah, no, I think like with the whole aesthetic, obviously, that's like the first thing people notice when they play the game. I have nothing to add there. I think it's really cool.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the gameplay is really I like that there are the run and gun levels, but I like the fact that for the most part the levels are just a straight up boss fight and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gets right to the point, you know. It's
Yeah,
like
but-
here's why you're here. Let's not waste your time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I love.
You love what?
Oh, I love how the game has like billions of boss fights, and then someone's like, "Wow, you should play Dark Souls if you like boss fights." I was like, "Oh man, is Dark Souls fun?" And it's like, "No, but you should play it anyways." And I'm like, "No, I'm loving Dark Souls 2 or 3. Sorry, not 2. Go, continue.
But yeah. Also, the DLC. Well, first off, it also has like one of the best soundtracks in any game.
It's a delicious last course. You never
But
know.
in addition to that, yeah. Well, the DLC is excellent. Can we mention that? Like
Yeah,
what?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, you can. I mean, I mentioned Resident Evil
Never
7.
played
as
it, but it
DLC.
looks excellent.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else to say that I don't think I've already said before about the game. Because I have talked about it a lot before.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you like the game. I mean, I'd be a little shocked if you were like, I mean, it's alright. Like, I mean, it's okay game. I mean,
And for my number one, a game I've never ever talked about before.
oh, that's going to be shocking. Let's.
What? No, that's
No,
not
no.
actually the case.
No, it is the case. Alright. You have nothing else to say about Cuphead?
If you haven't played it, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Good question. Why can't he come
Anyway.
save me? Good question. Alright. Sir plays a lot. Let's see if I'm going to win
Me.
my bet.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask if you remember the bet of.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Yep.
mention which one's number 1?
Yep, and you still haven't said it yet, so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, okay. So, first background. You remember how Caroline mentioned how Final Fantasy VII Remake helped her get through helped
Yeah,
Tifa,
no, you're
that's
good.
throwing me off.
Yeah, you're good.
Helped them get through 2020. Well, that's same for. Well, a lot of things helped me get through that time period. Mortal Kombat, Dr. Wolf, MLP fanfiction.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't ask.
No.
But yeah,
That's fine. Fiction helps as well. Specifically erotic fan fiction. None of MLP.
No, not that one. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Now you're throwing us off. But the one thing I didn't mention was this game, which is actually one of the rare times where for a piece of media where the moment I engage with it, I instantly fell in love with it. It really is beautiful. Generally one of the greatest pieces of art. I'm no way exaggerating. And that game is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Son of a bitch! Damn it!
That was the game you were betting on?
That's what I was betting on. I thought that would be your number one. Fuck!
I did consider it, but
Now you're gonna
number
pull
one
a
is
king. Now you're gonna pull a king
slightly
dice
more
and
meaningful to me.
play a lot to survive nine different minions, and then you
Oh, man, I can't believe
because he made you lose a bet.
I can't believe I lost a bet. Nah, I'm not
And
really shocked.
on the bright side, that means you'll get around to it sooner.
Yeah, no.
Or unless you have your friend's footage.
The problem is I'm gonna have to go out and find a copy because I have been looking for a copy of that game and I just cannot fucking find one. Like every game's like, okay, to be fair, I have Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the Wii and the Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And weirdly enough, I found a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii fucking U, but I can't find a copy of. Oh, sorry, Dale. I can't find a copy
Well, to be fair, I bought my copy off of Nintendo eShop. No, not eShop, online store.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Nintendo Switch, the eShop. Yeah. Go ahead. Why do you love this game?
But yeah, like I said, I love this game. I love okay, first of all, okay, in chat, and first of all, the graphics are gorgeous. Like, generally some of the best, like, I've ever seen with cell shading anime style.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the more, like, some of the out there creature designs. So cool looking. Same with the combat, which I can't compare it to any other Xenoblade game since I've never. This is the only game in the series I've played.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, still found it really deep and engaging. Which is a lot of elements, a lot of special attacks, and you can switch between what character you play as. Which, funnily enough, I didn't know until like later on in the end game. When I needed to grind. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Same with the worlds themselves. It's so breathtaking. And the world building and how all these blades, the titans they live on, core crystals, all that stuff. All the different species.
Mm-hmm.
It's generally amazing. Just like the cast of characters, which might be up there as among my favorites, alongside, of course, the MLP and Owl House crew, or even the DCAU Justice League.
Wait.
Yeah, it's high praise, I know.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Did you just say you like these cast characters more than the DCEU Justice League?
No, they're on DC, not EU, AU.
He's Batman?
Oh, okay. Animated universe. Okay. I was very.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was so confused for a second. I was like, "Wait, what?" So we all hated that.
Yeah, anyway,
Sorry. Go ahead.
of course, there's some of the side characters, not side, but secondary, like Tora, Zeke, and Poppy, who may just seem off as comic relief, but still have depth to them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, all the characters have depth. Even some of the henchmen villains. Not the jobbers, the secondary villains, I mean.
Yeah.
Of course, I love Rex and Pyra and
Mithra.
love their dynamic and Mithra.
Mm-hmm.
Just also love the voice acting, which really is just Rex's. Even then, Rex's voice acting isn't that bad. It's just the lip syncing that's off. It's not the most ear bleeding thing you ever heard. People, come on. I mean, come on.
Wait, are they British?
Oh, they're great. What's the question?
Oh, I said, are they? Don't they like? Aren't they British?
They're like mixtures between like some British, some Scottish. It's a
Oh well, that's the
different accent.
problem. They're
Yeah.
British. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What-
I
What the fuck?
I had to make the joke of, oh, that's why. That's why they're British. That's why people say that they're ear bleed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to rip away
Let's
from
see,
the talk.
Yeah, I can't go into what makes them so compelling without spoilers, which I wouldn't dare do. But I guess one thing I will remember how in number 4 I talked about Half Genie Hero having one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
Xenoblade 2
Which-
definitely does.
I think Xenoblade 2 might be my favorite video game soundtrack, even above what number 1 is.
Wow.
Yeah, like there's a reason I've been begging for it to come to Switch to Nintendo Music.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I mean,
So mesmerizing, so action packed,
I like.
so tearful,
I.
so
Oh,
oh my
sorry.
god, it's such an amazing game. Why haven't you people played it?
What are you yelling at me for? I didn't do anything. Why do you say fuck me for? Wait, hold on. What was that one video? It was fucking. Sorry for this weird side tangent, but there's a fucking what's his name? 50 Cent. I think like a football player called him a bitch or something. And he said, "Why do you say fuck?" Oh no, he said "fuck you," and he was like, "Why do you say fuck me for?" That's how I felt right there. Okay, sorry.
But yeah. Think of going into the. Also, can be very funny while still knowing when to be dramatic.
Mhm.
Like Zeke especially takes the crown for the funniest character.
Is Zeke the one who yells like
The Zekeinator.
he yells
Yes.
like it's green, green, you fucking Claude, or something like that? Calls like one of the characters a Claude.
Claude. But when he turned to Peridot.
I don't know what he.
Oh my god, Elemental reference?
That was Steven Universe reference.
Oh my god, it's Claude, the Bush kid.
What? Yeah.
God, it's so weird that Pixar did that. I was gonna say this though because you were talking about Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade 2. I really hope you give Xenoblade 3 a try, because from what I heard, Xenoblade 3 is really good. So I wonder if
Yeah, maybe, but for now I'm content with Xenoblade 2. It's generally one of the most phenomenal games I've ever played, and works of fiction I've ever engaged with. I really do love it that much. But not as much as number 1, which
which we'll get
we're
to.
about to get to.
All right, the crown
We'll
jewel.
be right back after these messages.
Shea Frillis is fun.
After these messages.
All right,
We'll be
sorry.
right back.
All right, well,
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. It's not actually sponsored by Squarespace.
We
I don't
will-
know if I'm legally obligated to specify that, but just in case
Funding
I am, I will.
Funding for Vulture Culture Podcast is provided by Surfshark VPN.
all right, well, here we go.
The Vulture Culture Podcast, not in fact sponsored by
Here we go.
VPN.
Here we
Going
go.
on for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we've been going for 3
Now with
hours.
number 1.
So number 1, this is a game. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Okay, this is going to be a long one, not an hour long one, but so when I was young, or not young, I would say I was pretty young. I went to go see a little known group called the Blues Brothers. If you don't know who these guys are, they are a Chicago, like they started off on Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Well, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi starred in a movie titled The Blues Brothers after doing a Saturday Night Live performance singing the song Soul Man, which is, quite frankly, probably one of their most popular songs they ever made. Well, for years, I loved the Blues Brothers. I still do. Like, even to this day, hands down, they are my favorite musicians ever. Like, I hear people say, who's your favorite musician? I will always say the Blues Brothers. They had such a unique sense of flow, creativity, and honestly, just magic about them. Cut to modern day. Like, actually, cut to last year. I went on vacation. I'm not going to say where, but they had the Legends in concert as one of the places. And they have the Blues Brothers always perform. And they did a meet and greet and you can buy shirts or buy whatever memorabilia you wanted. And you could, like, go meet them, whatever. And when I went down there, I was wearing a t-shirt. And that t-shirt was a game t-shirt. Now, it wasn't of a game. It was just like a generic, game on shirt or whatever. And it was an arcade cabinet. Well, the actor who was performing as Jake from the movie, they said, the guy next to him who played... I got the names mixed up. It was the guy who performed as Elwood said that the guy who performed as Jake loves video games. And I had the privilege of talking with them for a little bit. And I asked them to play a very specific game. And they said that the game was really expensive. And I said, well, you can actually play it on your Switch for a cheap price. It's just Nintendo Switch Online. And it's available on there. Later that night, I went, whenever I got back from vacation, I went in and I finished off the game. Do you guys want to know what the game was? That video game...
Number one, what is it?
That video game was Earthbound. Genuinely a phenomenal masterpiece of a video game. And I know so many people talk about Earthbound. I know. But they have a good fucking reason to. Earthbound is like, in lack of a better words, is if real life was an RPG. You go, it feels like you're a kid again, exploring the world for the first time. There's different locations based off real places. Forside being based off New York City, I feel. Onett feeling like a actual place you could go to on Earth, which it feels like rural town America. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Winters being based off Europe, with Stonehenge even being part of the thing. I can't remember where Pooh comes from, but Pooh comes from a place that's based off Japan. Or, not Japan, China. And so on and so forth. There are so many references in this game. Cultural references. Pop culture references. They literally reference the fucking Beatles. They literally make a Beatles joke. Some of the music is literally just rips off of already pre-establishedly made music. Like Johnny B. Good. And, not only that, they also used music... What's up?
I was about to say, wasn't one of them also the Lonely Hearts Club Band?
Yes, and that's in there. There's also the beginning music, like whenever you're getting into the game, entering your name and stuff. That music comes straight from a Monty Python sketch.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally the opening where it's like Monty Python and the Flying Circus. Literally, it's that, and then there's a bum, 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 bum. And they use that. There's so much music theories. There's people who made music theory videos on it, and for good reason. They take a lot of music. Literally, the final boss's the music that you play before you go up and fight against the final boss, which we will not spoil here, because I do not want people to be spoiled if they have not already. Even if there's just a slim chance of that being the case, I don't want to spoil it. And what makes it even better is the fact that that final boss is opening the music. Guess what? That comes from a Beach Boys song. Yeah, a Beach Boys song. That's so stupid. But it works.
For a very horrific thing.
Yes, exactly. And what makes it even better...
There you go, that's your spoiler. The final boss of Earthbound is fucking scary.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
Probably one of the scariest in gaming history.
I'm going to say this. I will say... Yeah, I would agree. Here's what I'm going to say. The final boss of that game, to me, is not referencing a single entity. It's representing everything we have in all of us. Rage. We all feel some kind of rage, and we curse out people. Especially when you're younger, and like just things aren't going your way. You get more mad. You get more agitated. That's what the final boss feels like to me. It's not supposed to be anything else but how you feel when you're mad. Why else do you think... Because of this boss, everything in the world's changed. But I think the reason for that isn't because, it's just an evil curse. It's because we all have it inside of us. We all get angry. We all know, like, if we're having a bad day, we get mad, and we're like, oh my god, I just wish that today never happened. But then, that pain goes away. And I feel like Earthbound kind of just shown that. And I think what makes it even better is the fact I have that story to tell to people. Is like I recommended Earthbound to someone who genuinely seemed happy that they get to actually try it out and actually cared and actually listen. I don't know why. It's just so nice to recommending someone a game and then they go off and they go play it and probably love it. I don't know. I hope they did. I mean, they said they probably did. Maybe I should write them a postcard or something. But Earthbound is genuinely a masterpiece. And the sprite work is so nice. And they also added in so many cool features that honestly, I mean, that's just... The features that they added where it's like you have a hint system in case you don't know where you are or you stop to do something else for the day. And then you come back and you're like, oh shit, what was I supposed to do? And then the game's like, oh, go here. He's like, there's this one place, but they don't spoil what's coming up. That's so handy. It's so nice. And mind you, this isn't an RPG from the 90s. An RPG that honestly doesn't get enough love or appreciation as today. Yes, obviously, there's the fan community. There's all this other stuff. There's people who make games that they were inspired by because of Earthbound. But, Earthbound really was that game, to me, that made me kind of go, man, Nintendo, you kind of fucking suck for not giving us anything else. Because it's cool whenever you get, a game that you love, right? But then, knowing that you're probably not going to get anything else from it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want, Mother 4 or anything like that. But, I would love to see where the story... I would love to see people today play Earthbound. It's not that hard to get into. It really isn't. You could literally just... right after this recording, you can go and sit down and play Earthbound. You could literally just do that. And I'm promising you this, you will have a blast. That game is awesome. The other characters, the side characters, even bosses, at the end of the game, the bosses that you probably hated throughout the entire adventure, because you're like, man, what a dick, that one first boss I had in the very beginning of the game. They hope for your success. Everybody hopes for your success. It's such a great finale, and it made me cry the first time, because I didn't want it to end. Earthbound, number 1. Hands down. If you guys took anything away from this conversation, play Earthbound. Sorry. Man, Earthbound's so great. Alright. Well, Roxy?
Oh. Roxy, it's up to you.
Well, if any of you
You're the
watching this
penultimate.
know anything about me going into this, you already fucking know what my number 1 is.
Is it Fortnite?
It's Big Bug, right?
Literally my channel used to be based entirely around this game, so
Alright.
it's The Binding of Isaac Repentance.
And
yes, I know that Repentance is technically what it says in the menu for The Binding of Isaac Rebirth when you have all the DLC. So technically the game is The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, but since it says Repentance in the menu, I'm just going to call it Repentance,
Yeah, that's fine.
So interestingly, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is a remake of The Binding of Isaac, since The Binding of Isaac was originally a Flash game, but they wanted to be able to do it on different systems, so they made Rebirth, which is a remake with more stuff. And then they made DLC for it, and it got progressively easier. And until Repentance, and Repentance made the game difficult again by one, it more than doubles the amount of playable characters, and the playable characters are different enough from each other so that they each of them stands out. You know, some of them stand out so much. Like, it's funny. I remember in the Gaming Magic 13 Discord server, there was like this annoying guy who showed up and was like, "Well, that game has like no variety," and I'm like, "Every playable character feels different. What are you talking about? There are 34 of them."
No. That's their only argument. No.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
No.
The YMS of video games I mentioned earlier.
We won't talk about him.
But yeah, and fully completing the game is an absolute joy. There's so much to do, so much to unlock.
So much to see.
So much to see. There are a bunch of like challenges in the game that alter some of the mechanics for a certain run, and those allow you to unlock more items as well. It's an absolute blast. Also, the story's about child abuse, so I can relate to it.
Oh my god, man!
I dropped that right the fuck out of nowhere.
Oh my god.
I thought you even acknowledged it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
I just love
Jeez.
how you were just like, man, where the fuck did that come from? It's like, you fucking said it. You knew you were gonna say something like that. Oh god.
Well, you knew I was gonna say it probably if you know the game. You just didn't know I was gonna say it right then.
Well, it came out of nowhere. It kind of shocked me. Anyways, god, that's funny. You got anything else you want to say about Binding of Isaac, or are you all good?
Play it.
But Balatro. Sorry. All right.
I'm gonna blotch your nuts.
That sounds.
That was not a good sentence.
That really sounded like you were.
Jesus.
That really sounded like you were trying to seduce me, Roxy. I'm sorry. It just so sounded.
That sounded like a sexual advance. I did not.
This is Roxy. You're trying to seduce me.
Oh god.
Hey, I'm trying to get into D&D, okay?
Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
But-
Well, there's only one person left, and we saved the best for last.
Best for last. The grand finale.
Well, you
The
know,
very-
maybe we don't actually.
The
know what it
very
is yet.
end.
The end of
The
the
very
podcast.
end of the finish line.
Sorry, it's like that's the we end the
The
podcast.
end of the world.
We just end.
Now I
No.
guess we're over. Here we are. The grand finale. The final curtain call. We have reached the very end of the finish line. And it's for the game that probably means the most, especially recently, where there's a chance that some of its content might become lost media from rumors I heard, which scares me, especially since I've never completed it. It's one. It is a crossover, of course. I love crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the game that. How do I even put to words? Again, it might come off as unconventional, but hey, I love being the unconventional guy, so.
Maybe we love it too. Sorry. It's just like, maybe we like it. I mean, you don't know. Because I think I know what it is. But go ahead.
Yeah. It is none other than Lego Dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you heard it, folks. Lego Dimensions, my number one
You know what?
all-time favorite mini game. Fuck.
Mario Party. Oh my
Game.
god, it's Mario Party. Sorry.
What were you saying, Roxy?
I was gonna say, I think it's funny that your number 10 spot is called Multiverses, and then your number
That-
1 spot is called Lego Dimensions.
No, multiverses was the honorable mention.
Yeah.
Number
Oh,
10
wait,
was
so that means
Dimension
literally
House.
the first and last game you talked about in this video is
Yes. Both of them have Batman as one of the main characters.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little fun fact.
Do I even hang on? Pull up my notes. That's why I have the notes. Like I generally don't know where to start.
No, fine with me. I mean,
Okay,
immediately more professional than me.
I guess here's one where we can start. The story, yes, is a simple fetch quest of all the foundation elements, but hey, I still found it engaging, especially with how the characters bounce off each other,
Hmm.
and how much of a threat Lord of Vortec is. Like, I don't mention it much, but I actually do love it when crossovers make their own original characters, like Sora, Kingdom Hearts, Rain Dog, and Multiverses. Of course, Lord Vortec and Expo from
Taboo.
Dimensions. They still stand out on their own. And Taboo from Brawl. They all still stand out on their own. Lord Vortec especially, with his unique design, shape-shifting powers, and threatening voice by Gary Oldman, of course. It's just really great villain. Same with the heroes. I like Batman, Wildstyle, and Gandalf's interactions.
Oh yeah, Wild Style
I
was
like
in that
the-
game. Sorry.
Yeah. But I love all the interactions you can have with each character. Like, there's too many to count. Like, Batman confusing Scarecrow with his Scarecrow. Or even Sonic, like... Even stuff like... Not in the story, like Sonic wanting to get a Ghostbuster to get rid of the Tails doll. That's also a really fun reference. Same with the hub worlds. They're all really great. Like, really big, have a handful of missions. Of course, the same with the worlds you explore in the story.
Mhm.
Like, it's just really exciting to see, like, Sauron try to take over Metropolis. Or Zod interfering with the Ghostbusters, or even the selection of worlds. Like, one wouldn't expect Midway Arcade, but it's so fun. That's how I knew about those games in the first place. In fact, it's this game that got me into the Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, and Gremlins. It's thanks to this game.
Gremlins?
And
I
yeah,
What was that
Gremlins.
movie?
They're part of year 2.
no
And E.T.
no. What is Gremlins? Is that the movie where like they can't feed them past midnight?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
And by the way, Gremlins 2 was literally made to be a middle finger to pointless sequels, and they just went completely insane. There's a
Ugh.
trans gremlin.
Oh my goodness.
I think they even start the director's commentary that way, like, welcome to the most unnecessary sequel of all time.
At least they were aware.
And they're aware.
All right, go
See.
ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I knew I heard the name Gremlins somewhere, but for the life of me, I could not remember where. And Dale, if you keep eating my fucking, you know what? Fine. Nope. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let's see, we've talked about story, characters, crossovers, hub world, yeah. And of course, the big turnoff for most people, unfortunately, is a Toys to Life game. Which, I mean, you can rent some of the heroes temporarily, but I can see why people don't engage with it, but I still love it. Like, especially with the unique way they approached it of having to take the toys off and on to complete certain puzzles. Like, that's great. It only makes it stand out from the rest, where you just place them on and that's it. But it's just, of course, let's say it was the best soundtrack, but most of it comes from other sources. Like, I remember when I was watching Superman the Animated Series for the first time, I was like, hey, I recognize that track from Lego Dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they reused a lot of it.
I mean, valid.
And there was some original stuff, but not very few and far between. Well, what would you say?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, it makes sense that they would kind of have to. I mean, I bet it's kind of not that easy just to go, oh, well, let's just make like a bunch of original music for this one game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
they spent most of their money getting Back to the Future and Simpsons. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So funny I mentioned those two together since the Simpsons did replace the Back to the Future ride at Universal. Just so I mentioned that. Anyway. Yeah, it just, despite, I don't know, it's just,
It's fantastic.
how can it's, again, its own way phenomenal. Like, I love this game so much, despite its simplicity. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm actually having a hard time to put more words into it. It's really is
Fantastic.
that's special to me.
Yeah.
It's really
Sorry.
my favorite experiences with any game ever.
Do you think that you said that it could end up being lost media? Is that what you said?
And yeah, because well, I heard it's just a rumor, but
I mean, they're not.
hopefully it's not.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Maybe it's just the voice becoming more obscure and some of the worlds locked. It's like maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, you know what you should do then is if you do end up doing YouTube stuff, you should totally dedicate a video essay to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would think it'd be a good video. I mean, to me. I mean, I know a lot of people would be like, you don't know what the fuck you want to do. I'm like, yeah, you know. Sorry.
I do have other video essays plans, but first I gotta finish my favorite YouTubers list.
But yeah, no,
Right.
All right. Well, I mean.
Yeah, that's Lego Dimensions for me. I love it with all my heart. All-time favorite video game. Enough said.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm counting my money. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Sorry. Oh, okay. So, everyone who's been listening for the last 3 hours, Jesus. I
Probably watching Endgame alongside this.
Man, Endgame got done like 2 hours ago, and you guys are still going. Well, you know, that's what happens when we got a lot to say.
You know that there's somebody out there who played through the entirety of one of these games while listening to this.
They finished like a run and entered the gungeon or something. I don't know. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing us talk about some of our favorite games. I do want to ask if you guys can think of any games, mostly keep it limited to 2. If you could have added in 2 more games to this list, what would you have added other than your honorable mention, of course? I can go first so then I can give you guys some time to think about it. So,
yeah, same order, basically.
Yeah. So I have 2 games I would have put on this list, but sadly they had to be squeaked out. Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and Balatro. I was so tempted.
Oh my god.
I was so tempted to put this on the list, but I didn't because I was like, I have games I love more. Which Balatro isn't even really in my top 20, I would say. Maybe that'll be the next video. We'll go over our top 20 favorite video games. Well, no, I'm kidding.
I'm
Still going over the 10 that we already talked about.
Yeah, go right there.
Actually, no, I'm choosing.
Oh man, nah. But yeah, that is our favorite video game. Oh, sorry, Roxy. Do you have any?
I was gonna say, are you not gonna
No,
continue
you guys
with the
don't.
thing that
You guys don't get to talk. No. Only me. Sorry.
Super Meat Boy and Super Metroid. And the funny thing
Oh.
is, Super Meat Boy 2, which is called Super Meat Boy Forever, Super Meat Boy Forever is one of the worst video games I've ever played, and it references Super Metroid. So that's kind of funny that the first Super Meat Boy, as in Super Meat Boy, not Meat Boy on Newgrounds. I think it's funny then that I mentioned the game that would then have a shitty sequel that references the other game I mentioned right there.
Yeah. Oh man. Um.
And
And for you,
as is me.
yeah.
I did mention this to, like, I did mention this to Caroline off camera, but Sonic and the Black Knight, it's one of my games I would have featured, but I legitimately have not played it since, like, I was 10 or 11, so I can't feature it on here, unfortunately. Don't know how I'll live up to my standards now.
Valid.
Though from what I've seen in the cutscenes, it has some of the best writing moments for Sonic as a character.
I'm kind of mad I
Would
limited myself to
have
two.
jeez. Let me think. I guess the other one I would have is Fusion Fall. Only reason I don't have it is because have never finished it. And thanks to WB shutting down Fusion Fall Retro, I probably won't ever finish it, unfortunately.
Damn. Fucking
It's a shame. Fusion Fall is a really great game.
fucking Warner
One of my
Brothers.
favorite, like, MMO
Fusion.
out there.
That sounds so familiar.
I'll look it up.
I will. Well.
But yeah, those are
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
those are my mentions. I think that's it.
Fusion Fall. Oh yeah. A 2009 action-adventure comedy game is set in the cartoon universe during an alien invasion. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's cool. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to say before we cap off this episode?
No.
Ah! Sorry, Roxy scared me. A slight overreaction. And then it's like a slight overreaction. You just hear I'm sorry. Well,
Meg, you startled me.
Dad, what's going on? Is someone breaking in? Sorry, Meg, you scared me. No, I guess I don't really have anything else to say. I thought I had one more thing I wanted to say, but I do not.
Play some of the games that
definitely.
we talk about. If
Some of them,
maybe
if
just
not
provide
all of them.
sounds interesting.
They're all in the top 10 list for a reason.
Yeah, don't play our honorable
If you're not going to, at least look up Night in the Woods Rule 34.
What? Roxy! You're gonna get me banned! You're gonna get you're gonna call the... Wait, what? I don't know what I was trying to go there. Anyways, thank you all for listening, watching. This is we did this for our 5th episode, so, I mean, I think you guys should subscribe, because, I mean, hey, what other podcast will go for 3 hours for episode 5? I mean, come on. Come on. Be honest.
Most of them probably.
What podcast goes on? Joe Rogan. Fuck! Anyways, I don't care.
Yo, when are we gonna get the episode? When are we gonna get the Rick and Morty season 6 episode featuring Joe Rogan?
Hey, Joe
No.
Rogan! If you guys like what you listen to, we are also... Well, we have sources you can find us individually. Sirsplaysalot, since you've been going last the entire time, where can the lovely people find you?
Follow me on Discord, Letterboxd, and DeviantArt.
Alright. Roxy, where can they find you?
On like
I swear, Roxy.
YouTube.
Okay.
And I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I have a Blue Sky account. I'm mostly focusing on YouTube. But hey, I mean, if you want to follow me on other places, I mean, I still post on other places, so I guess do that if you want. I have a letterbox. That's a thing that I post on a lot. So
So if you want,
I was forced to watch Twins by my mom because she was like, "Hey, you can choose the movie since it's your birthday," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna pick The Incredibles." And then she said, no, I'm gonna pick the movie now."
you lost your chance. It's like you just lost your chance to pick
I
the
don't know
movie. All right.
what me when I tell somebody they can pick the movie and they pick a movie. No.
No. No. Get out of here. Um, you guys, if you want to follow what I do, I'm normally doing my own thing over on Evil Spirit Gaming. Currently, hopefully by the time this is out, I am working on a playthrough of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And it will be a very fun playthrough. I've already recorded episode 1. Really enjoyed the game so far. Also, I'm playing through Red Dead Redemption 2 and I almost fucked that up. And Halo with Pizza Man. If you guys want to go check that out. We hopefully will be on Spotify. I'm still trying to get that to work. If it doesn't work, well, you'll know because I'll be like, we're not on Spotify. I am trying to make it work.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best. It's like because I asked my buddy, oh, guys, I have bad news. This is the end of season 1. I know, season 1.
We're divided into seasons?
Yeah, this is the end of our first season, technically. At least what I'm calling season 0, or maybe season 1, I don't know.
Why?
Because
we had, how else are we going to end it off with this big of a finale?
Well, don't worry. The reason why I'm saying we are having this season, quote-unquote season, end is because we are now getting an intro. Season 2 is going to start off with a bang! I got music. I got other things. And this was just supposed to be one gigantic season finale. That's the entire point of this. And if you think I'm making it up, test us. Maybe I won't renew us for a second season. Maybe I will. I don't know. Also, the reason why I'm saying this is mostly because I just want to announce that we are having a new intro. And most of the episodes that we are going to be releasing are planned. Do you guys want to reveal some of the ideas that we will be doing? Or do you guys...
I said it would be a good idea if we... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'll reveal episode 7, of course.
Yeah,
That's one of the ones I'm most excited for.
Okay, well, should we reveal some of them? We won't reveal episode 10. Episode 10 is going to stay a secret, and anything after episode 10, we'll keep it.
I'm saying the next 3 episodes.
Okay. So, because I'm picking the next episode, right? Yeah. Okay. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. We are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Woo! The first Five Nights at Freddy's, not the movie.
I hate the FNAF movie. It's so bad.
No, we're not talking about the FNAF movie. But we'll be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Honestly, I'm kind of excited to talk about FNAF 1. That's going to be a pretty fun episode, in my opinion. So, yeah, we'll be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 1 next week. So, hopefully you guys are excited for that. I mean, I am.
It gets 0 views ever.
It gets us to episode 7 faster.
It does.
How do you get negative views?
How do you get negative views? I don't know.
How do you get a negative percentage on Rotten Tomato?
Roxy, or sorry, Sirplaysalot, you have the next
Episode
episode.
7 is the one I chose, and it's one of my all-time favorite shows. I should have mentioned this earlier since it has another one of my all-time favorite selection of cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
That, of course, being Stranger Things Season 1.
Yep.
As the finale is coming, so the whole show is coming later this year. We'll be start off with the first season.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like what we're doing with
Who's
Shrek.
seen it other than me?
I have not seen it yet. I will get to it, though. Especially because I know we'll be talking about it. And Roxy, what will your episode be? Because you are doing episode 8.
Roxy?
Today, that all you see is violence in
Family Guy season
movies
1.
and sex on TV. But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to
This
rely?
was gonna be the first time I ever watched
Lucky there's a
it.
Family Guy.
Oh, wait,
He's
this is going to be the
only
first time you
man
ever
who-
watched Family Guy?
I messed it up.
The first season?
Yeah, I've
messed
only
it up.
seen out of context clips up to this point.
Oh, I'm
But
excited.
I'll
Lucky there's
start
a
watching
man
it
who
closer to after we record episode 7. That way the show will be fresh on my mind.
Okay.
He's a family guy. By the way, Family Guy season 1 only. Family Guy season 1 only has 7 episodes, so you can watch it in like
An hour.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So
It's not very long.
Yeah.
And I do want to reveal episode 9. Wait, I don't think we agreed on episode 9. Anyways, that's it for this episode.
I thought you said episode 9 was your choice, and you just haven't chosen yet.
Oh yeah, fuck me. My position's been compromised. Barnacles, dirty,
Yeah, like
dirty
I haven't
barnacles.
chosen 14 or 15 yet.
I know you. Okay, I guess we could tell them because this episode ain't long enough. We gotta make it longer. Roxy is picking episode 20, and Sirplaysalot, you're picking episode 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 13.
And 13. Yeah, we're going to try to alternate. Also, I do want to say this. We are also going to try to make sure that we don't do too many movies and video games in a row. So then we got a nice balance. I feel like that's fair. To both the fans and the and just us in general. So then... Because honestly, whenever I did sit down to actually play through Crash Bandicoot, I had a fun time trying to beat that game in a week. Which... Now I'm going to play Crash 2 for your footage, Roxy. But... Also, Sirplaysalot, I have to admit something to you.
What?
When you sent your list to me, I read Sky, like, cause Sky was like one of the like slots. I didn't realize that was still part of the Pokemon title. I thought that was literally part of like I thought it was like a totally another game. So like when you started talking about other games, I was so genuinely confused. I was like, where the fuck is Sky?
Like, wasn't like the studio that made No Man's Sky, wasn't it? Didn't some other company try to sue it while that game was being produced for having the word Sky in the title?
If that is the case, that would not shock me. It actually might shock me a little bit.
Fine Brothers moment?
Fine Brothers moment? Oh my god. Oh man. Anyways, thank you all for listening, watching, whatever you do to these episodes, as long as it's not illegal.
Guys, Nickelodeon is going to sue our podcast for having culture in the title when one of the episodes of SpongeBob is named for Shock. Coincidence? I think not!
I think not!
We got... Also, if you enjoyed the podcast and you enjoy us, maybe give us some suggestions. Maybe we'll take one every now and then. I definitely... If we ever do... I really do want to do a Q&A session where we answer questions. But we're not nearly that big yet. We ain't that big. But we will make it that big, hopefully. And if you guys like, honestly...
At a certain point in the Q&A, it's just us asking our questions to ourselves and then answering them. Like, we're nobody's watching it.
So Roxy, what do you think of this game? Oh, this game was great. I love it. It's like, oh, well, what do you think about it? Oh, Roxy, and it's like,
character was very saucy.
also, if you guys have any fan art, send it to us on Blue Sky at any of us, and we'll definitely post it. I know Sirsplaysalot said he doesn't have a Blue Sky, but he does have a deviant art if you ever want to tag him in there. I don't care what you guys do, as long as you guys like the content. That's all I care about. This has been a long episode. It's 10 o'clock. We started at it's 10:49 where I live. And we
You know who else is long?
Like when we started this, I was like, I might be here for like around 2 hours. Oh man. Man, I was planning on playing Donkey Kong tonight. Speaking of which,
I'm late for my movie marathon.
I remember
what time we say goodbye to the viewers.
Yeah. I guess for like stuff after episode 10, you said you want us to talk about Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah, no,
right?
literally, that's why I started fucking acting like an ape. I was like, Donkey Kong.
Oh, and then I also suggested we talk about Men in Black. So I guess I have to talk about, I guess I have to act like Will Smith, I guess.
Oh, that's not.
That's the main character.
It's just all I hear is just someone knock on my door, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then whoosh, right across the face. Yeah, that'd be funny. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode next week of the Vulture Culture Podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night, tri-state area.
Another Shake Fearless